without much further ado, Aaron, I'm gonna pass the stage to you. I hope you guys are ready. He says he's gonna be very intense, so make sure you have a lot of papers beside you because he's gonna get you guys to do a lot of things. Okay. All right, Aaron, take it away.
Okay, guys, good evening again, and thank you, Vince, for allowing me this opportunity to really come here and talk with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen and get started right away. Let me check. Okay, so just to check, can you guys all see my screen? Can you see the screen on Zoom? Can you give me some kind of indicator? Can you say yes in the chat, maybe? All right, great. Now, okay, so today's topic is going to be about the secrets to sell and close effectively, even you have no idea, absolutely no idea how to sell, okay? And whatever that I'm going to be teaching you today is something that I've used personally and perfected across probably 8 years, all right? And I've used it to close anywhere from 5 to 7 figures, the largest one being 8 figures as well. And some of the items I'm going to reveal to you what I was sold, and you're going to be surprised because it's one of the hardest things that I've actually sold before in my entire life. Right? So how many of you here are excited to learn about sales today? Type in 1 in the chat box if you're excited. Let's see the chat box blow up right now. All right, great. I do a small role called CK, Mason, Elvester, Weenie, Bob, Ong, Marcus, Anthony, Jai, Casey, Raik, hi, Raik Chan, Susanna, Lalita. Okay, great. Everyone seems to be excited, right? Okay, so let's get started right away. Now, so here's what you will discover today in this presentation. Just let me check out why my clicker is not working. Okay, it's working. So here's what you'll discover. Number one, you'll discover the one must-have ingredients in every successful sales. And the number two thing is that you're going to you're going to discover this only focus in sales. Okay, once you focus in this, right, your whole entire mindset about sales will change. All right, and I'm going to turn 180 degrees, whatever mindset that you have right now, right, so that you won't have any fear at all. Would that be great, everyone? Would that be great? Now, if it's great, right, type in 3 in the chat box. And you're also going to discover what are people buying exactly and what motivates them to buy. And you're also going to discover the fastest way to read your prospect's mind in 4 steps. Yes, you heard that right. It is reading your prospect's mind. So when you're able to do this right, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazing a lot of people, even your prospect, right? And then you're also going to discover the fastest way to identify your product's real value, okay? Because a lot of people, when they sell, right, they don't even know the product's real value. They keep on focusing on features and benefits. And let me tell you, this is not even benefits. So, did you see some line on the screen? Can I check? Do you see some line, some blue line on the screen? Oh yeah, what is that? Let me check. Someone scribbled. No, I didn't scribble anything there.
I think someone on the iPad or phone may have
scribbled, is it?
Yeah, you need to maybe.
Okay, I end show again. I'll try again to share.
Yeah, annotation, correct.
Who go and annotate leh?
Maybe accidentally annotate.
Oh, itchy fingers
Itchy, yeah.
Wait Let me check again, share my screen again. Okay, so can you see right now? Can everyone see again?
Yep, can see.
Okay. So itchy fingers, keep the finger aside, keep it on your paper. Don't jonteng on the screen first. Okay. So you're also gonna learn about what is preventing your customers from buying. So once you know what is preventing them from buying, right, then you can actually overcome them. All right. Now you also learn how to craft an irresistible value proposition. Okay. How many of you would like to be able to immediately craft an irresistible value proposition where everything that you state inside the proposition, right, values to your client? Type in yes if you want that. Great. Now, you're also going to learn about a 6-step trust building selling process to close the sale. So this is the last action part about everything that we're going to be learning, because 80% of what you're going to be learning is all the preparation part and your mindset and what you need to do in order to understand selling. So the execution part is only 20%, but they will get you the 80% of the results. Am I making sense? Is everybody understanding this? Can we have your slides? Okay, I arranged for that. And that's the reason why I put so many things inside here, right? So, and then you're gonna also learn about the MQA method to manage any objections, even if you have never heard of that objection before. How many of you would like to be able to do this? You never heard of that objection before? Once they shoot out an objection, right, immediately within 1-2 seconds, you'll be able to think through, and then you'll be able to know, okay, how do I want to respond to that? Is that good, everyone? Would you like to be able to do this? All right, great. So it seems like everybody is blowing up the chat. Good. Wow. So here is what you'll discover. So next, this is what I need from you, okay? This is what I need from you. Take action and implement, because this is the most important thing. Why? Because you see, it will hurt me a lot if I pass this solution to you, right? Everything that I'm going to be passing down to you, downloading from my brain to your brain, right? And probably I meet you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years later, maybe you are at another seminar, maybe you're somewhere, okay, we meet somewhere and then we have a talk. And then you're still looking for a solution for this problem. Now, nothing hurts me more than that. And I know for sure, right, most of the time it's because that you didn't take action and you didn't implement, all right? Or you didn't take action enough. So promise me, everyone, that you need to take action, because it will give you results. If I've already seen results with this, so I'm very comfortable with this, right? So I'm very, very comfortable with this topic and everything. So I want result for you guys. Can you promise me to actually take action and implement? Type in promise if you promise me, all right? We don't want to type in like yes, okay? Promise me you take action, right? All right, good. Now, whatever they're going to learn, right? I know there's going to be a lot of things. I'm going to be covering a lot of things. So just take some of the most important things. Let's say, okay, right now you have like 3 things that you know for sure you can take action on. Okay, go ahead and try that first. All right, go ahead and try that first. Don't try everything at once. But I'm going to be downloading everything to you, because I believe that with everything that I structure in this way, right, that you'll be able to understand selling in a whole new different level, okay? So let me ask you a question, but Vince already asked you all, what is the most valuable skill in business? So you can probably think like, things like marketing, leadership, financial management, sales, problem solving, project management. Type in what you think in the chat box, right, is the most valuable skill that you think in business is. Wow, this one, Vince also already helped you to answer the question, so it's like redundant a bit. Come on, actually it's about this. Every single thing in business, okay, is also important. It's just a matter of priority. But the most valuable one is this, okay? The most valuable is always selling skills, and every single skill that will help you to get the money is the most valuable skill in business. Because why? Now, this is Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure all of you know him. He said this: the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. If you cannot sell right, don't even bother thinking about becoming a business owner. And I'm sure every one of us is business owner here. And as a matter of fact, right, nobody taught us how to sell, right? So it's not your fault that you don't know how to sell. But now that you know this, right, okay, if you don't know how to sell, it's not your fault. So now that you know this, you must go and practice, because nobody else is more important in the business, right, than you to be able to know how to sell and teach your people how to sell, your staff, your sales staff, okay? So this is the best time in history, right? Let's not talk about the COVID. Let's not talk about whatever that is happening, whatever crisis that's happening right now in the market, right? Why I say it's the best time? Because this last 2 years, right, look at the pace of today's environment, right? And everything is changing at breakneck speed, so it has never been easier to get good at closing. So what I mean by this is very simple, is that it doesn't require you to have like, superstar looks like Korean oppa or all these Korean artists. You don't have to look like Brad Pitt. You don't have to talk like Oprah Winfrey, okay? It's just a simple matter of cutting through all the smoke. And if your closing skills, right, is nowhere near any level that you imagine it could be, right, then I probably can tell you it's not your fault, right? Seriously, I don't believe it is your fault, because no one is born with a superhuman ability, super Marvel ability right now, right, to be able to sell, right? And today's information world, look at that. Everything can be Googleable, so everything at your fingertips, right? But it is doing one thing, it's confusing us. We do not know what is real, what is working, what is not, right? So Today, I want you guys to sit back and relax. Although it's going to be a very intense moment, sit back and relax. I'm going to blow away the smoke, right? And show you how you can do the same. Sounds good, everybody? Type in the chat box if it sounds good to you. Now, let's discover, right, what is possible for you first, all right? Now that you know that sales is very important, what is possible for you? Now, this is the revenue formula for any of your businesses, okay? If you're working in sales, this also is your formula, right? You might have seen this before, or you might not have seen this before, but I'm going to recap all this, okay? What is possible for you? So, every single revenue, the top line of every single business, okay? We're not talking about the bottom line, we're talking about the top line. Why is it the top line? The most important thing, everything that comes in is the top line. So we're looking at the opportunity. Okay, it comes from these four things. Opportunity, deal amount, closing rate, and frequency. So what is opportunity? All right, opportunity means prospect, people that you can actually close, people that will buy from you. All right, so what you can do to actually increase your revenue is to get more prospect. So what is deal amount? Deal amount is the size of transaction, meaning your, let's say you're selling something, okay, 1,000 ringgit for that product, then the deal amount is 1,000 ringgit per product, right? Some of you may be doing services maybe in the 10, 50, 30,000, something like that, right? So that is your deal amount. So you can, to increase your revenue, right, you can also increase your deal amount. Another part is that the frequency part, where you can get your client to buy again, all right? Say the client always come back 1 time or 2 times or 3 times the lifetime value. So that will also help you to increase your revenue. And the part that most people didn't talk about is the closing rate. Because let's face it, I mean, if you're selling online, if you're selling offline, everything is conversion rate. Okay, you're able to convert, not just all about sales. And a lot of people didn't put emphasis into it. They look at one point to solve on it. Get more prospect, get more prospect, get more prospect. So imagine this, if you cannot even fix the closing rate, your closing rate is at 10%. Okay, let's say if you're going to get 200 prospect, it's still going to be at 10%, right? So what if like this, you increase all the board across the board, the opportunity, the deal size, the closing rate, the frequency by 10% only. Can you see how much it actually grows? Look, 110 of opportunity times your deal amount become 2,200, and your closing rate is at 11%, and frequency, it becomes 29,000, you know. So it means it increased by 1.46 times, all right? Increased by 1.46 times. It's exponential, you know, this one. So let's say it will increase by 30%, all right? Across the board, it will increase up to 57,122. And that means it will increase by 2.85% from the original figure, all right? That is actually what you can do in the whole business. So take this concept, you can take this screenshot, all right? Think about ways you can increase your revenue right now. But today, I want to focus on this part. What if, right, you can increase just your closing rate alone, everything else remain the same. Everything else remain the same, all right? Just increase the closing rate from 10% to 20%. You can actually increase your profit and revenue by double. Isn't that amazing, everyone? All right. How many of you would like to increase your revenue by double? And by the way, you know, when you learn about what I'm about to share with you today, right, and put everything into action, okay, just even a tiny fraction, tiny little bit, right, it will be more than 2 times. I can guarantee you that. Because normally, right, people that learn from me will increase their closing rate anywhere up to 30 to 40%, okay, from their original 5 to 10%. Because in the market right now, 99% of the salespeople, their closing rate is anywhere between 10 to 15% maximum. All right. Now, what we're going to be looking at today is increasing your closing rate. Okay. So can I share with you my background a little bit? Maybe 1, 2 slides, right, to let you know who I am, where I come from, and how today came to be. Is that okay, everyone? All right. Chikun say okay. Bob, Vivian say okay. Right. Nicholas say okay. Great. Now, okay, this is going to be very, very quick. So who is Aaron Chong? Now, I have more than 15 years experience in sales, and I've generated well over 30 million in total sales in my entire lifetime. And I've built a company from 0 to 8-figure within 3 years. And I also received the Best Salesperson of the Year award. And I closed more than 10 million in a single deal personally without any experience, okay? Without any experience in that particular business. But more importantly, right, what I'm going to be sharing with you today is not theory, right? It will work for you as long as you deal with another human being. That's the caveat. If you're going to be dealing with cat, dog, alien, that one I cannot help out because truthfully speaking, I don't speak their language, right? So jokes aside, now, this one you cannot take screenshot, okay? You cannot take screenshot. This is my deal that I'm showing to you. These are proof of my receipts, and you need to focus on 2 things. the time and the dollar amount, right? This is 1.6 million in 2013. And this is 1 million USD, which means 4 million Malaysian ringgit if you're in Malaysia, in 2016. So I'm showing you 6 to 7 figures one. So I think the 5 figures is too small for you guys, isn't it? And this one is in 2016, 572,400. 2017 again, 300,000. And 2019, 100,000 euros, 400 plus thousand Malaysian ringgit. Now, these are the results of me practicing what you're about to learn today. And, right, what you need to know is that it has been perfected across this time, right? It still works across the 6 years that I've shown you with this huge amount of invoice. I'm not even calculating all the small one, all the 4, 5 figures, because 5 figures right now is my minimum that I would like to use this technique on, all right? But it can be used anywhere from 3 to 4 figures. But if you're going to be selling like 3 figures, I think it will be overkill already. Everyone understand why it's overkill or not? I mean, too much. I mean, this technique will be too much for it already. Okay? Now, what I need you to know that although I can do everything that you see here, right, this has not always been the case. All right? Now, when I was starting out in sales, right, after years of experience learning about just starting out basic to selling through features and benefits, right, when I reached to this part, the picture you see, right, artworks. This is the thing that stops me, right? And research have shown, right, that this is one of the hardest things to sell, right? It is artwork. This is my biggest challenge in my career, right? And because of this, right, when I learned about selling in a different way, it changed the way I look at selling forever. Now, when you look at this, right, I ask you some question here. How can you sell this one using features and benefits? Can anyone of you right now tell me whether if you can sell this using features or benefits? No, right? So it's pretty hard, right? So, okay, what is features? Features is like, all right, the size, the type of color, the frame. Okay, those are features, correct? Not and who is the artist, right? The age, all those are features, but the benefit, okay, put on the whole wall, right? Then it looks very nice. So that's the benefit, right? And do you know how much is this artwork? Try to take a guess. How much is this artwork? 1 million, Wendy. 200K. Very close, very close. It's not 1 million. It's not 200K. Oh, Lalita, very close. I think you heard my story before, is it? All right, it's 386,000. How do you sell one thing that is 386,000, right, using features and benefit? Nobody would buy something because of the benefit at 386,000. All right. So this is where I met my roadblock, and I paid a mentor, right, with 50% of my commission. From that time, I was doing this deal with him, right? 50% of the commission was equivalent to around 38,000 ringgit just to learn this, right? And then after that, I start researching on my own and I practice for at least like 30,000 hours across 8 years to be able to learn, everything after this to sell this. And by the way, this 386,000, right, I sell the fastest. Okay, after I know about all that already, 15 minutes, 386,000, 15 minutes only to sell this. And I don't need to talk a lot. I just need to understand what the buyers is thinking. Not USD, it's in Malaysian ringgit, 386,000, about 90,000 USD. Okay, now here is what I discovered. Okay, the most important thing is this. The sales is not only a numbers game. You hear people say, right, sales is number game, but it is a people game. You must understand people's mind. All right, if you only focus on the number, right, then you'll be exhausted because you see, you can only have so much of customers that are coming into your system. And if you do not improve your game on people, that means you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? So why do you want to leave a lot of money on the table where you can actually take this skill, improve it, and then you can actually improve your closing rate, right? So, and I also discovered that having an unshakable mental model wins over tactics. A lot of people will teach you tactics. All right, I'm going to teach you one thing is that a mental model that will keep with you forever, right? And when you have this mental model, right, you win over tactics because every single thing that you do is from your belief in this mental model, okay? And I also discovered one thing, that closing the sale is an outcome of a process. It's not a goal. A lot of people is focusing on the goal. Okay, I want to close that sale for 300K. Then I aim for that. But when they aim for that, right, They forgo a lot of the process. So what I want you to notice is that every single thing that you're going to be focusing on, right, is on taking action on the process. And then the result will be an outcome, okay? Because of this, the result that you're looking for, write this down, the result that you're looking for is not in the results. The results is in the process. The result is just a merely byproduct of the process that you actually take action on. Am I making sense, everyone? Type in the chat box if I'm making sense. Okay, great. So we're ready to get started. Just now was just the intro only. So, what is selling? This is the first part we're going to be learning. There will be 8 parts in total. So by the end of that, the money sign there, okay, that's a process. By the money sign there, right, you'll be able to become an ultimate closer. You have all these kind of new concepts, and you're going to be able, right, to picture. You're going to be mind blown for sure one, and then you're going to be able to picture, hey, how I want to implement into my business right now. So what I want you to do is that as we proceed along this presentation today, right, I want you to take notes of things that you can immediately implement and take action on those. And I already got one that is immediately can improve your closing skills one, okay? Now, so what is selling? A lot of people, right, when they look at selling, right, they think about something like this. When you see the picture, right, it's a woman passing a bag of groceries or something like that to the woman on the bicycle, to the auntie on the bicycle, and the auntie is handing over the money. So a lot of people think that selling is just so surface level. This is surface level, right? And how we define this is that selling is an act of exchanging values. Am I right? So why I mean by that, how I mean by that is very easy. Is because when you take out your money is valuable to you, right? Would you pass your money? My question is, would you pass your money to somebody and in exchange for something in return that is value? The value is less than your money one. Will you do that, everyone? Type in no if you're not going to do that. Type in no in the chat box, you're not going to do that. Exactly, right? Why would you go and exchange somebody something with your money, and then you get back that something, right, is less value one? Nobody would actually do that, right? Nobody in the right frame of mind would do that. So selling is always exchanging of values, and the value must be either equal or higher than whatever they are paying for, right, with the money, right? Or sometimes your time, sometimes your effort, your resources. It doesn't matter what you sell, right? Even your idea. When somebody want to invest their idea into you, okay, and then if you do not show enough value, do you think they want to proceed? They also wouldn't want to proceed as well, right? So, and then I want you to understand about value as well, because a lot of people have this question to me, right, that, what is value, Aaron? You say about exchanging value. So what is value? A lot of people don't understand value. So I define it like this. Value is the degree of importance a person places on something, meaning if something that you think is important to you, right, then you will highly value it. It's just like money. Money is very important to you. That's why everybody value money, because you can change for a lot of things, right? The utility itself has value. So that is value. Whatever that another person deem important is valuable to them. So the question is very simple. How do you then build value? And this is also what we're going to be learning here in this presentation today, okay? Now, selling is also an act of persuasion, right? And persuasion is the process of influencing someone to do or believe something. And by the way, guys, on a side note, I'm going to be deconstructing a lot of things, That means I'm going to be going deep down and deep dive in a lot of details, Would that be okay with everyone? Because if it's not okay, then I'm going to pull back a bit and then I'll go on big picture. Because if you're going to go deep inside, like how I understand, right? If you understand how I think, right, then I can tell you, seriously, you're going to look at selling and you're going to laugh at it, All right, let's dive in now. Okay, dive in now. Good. All right, deep. See deep. All right, I'll try my best. This is very deep, okay? So, but I make it so simple that you can understand, all right? And selling is an act of persuasion, and persuasion is a process of influencing somebody or someone to do something or believe something, okay? So I'm going to prove to you, okay? Imagine yourself in a fruit stall right now. You're trying to buy something. How many of you think that persuasion is also happening? You type in yes in the chat box if you think that persuasion is actually happening while you're even at a fruit stall where the people never learn about persuasion anyway. Do you think that the persuasion is happening? And I'm going to prove to you, all right? Now, everybody listen to proof already, then say yes. Okay, good also. All right, so you see, look at this fruit stall. What I want you to notice here is where I highlight, right? There's a lot of persuasion happening here if you just open your eyes and look. And many of us don't notice this. But after today, you cannot unsee and you know it's actually happening. All right, look at this circle. Extra sweet pineapple. All right, this is also why they purposely put the box there. Do you think they cannot tell, hey, this pineapple is very sweet? They don't need what? They just put the box there, right? And it's actually an act of persuasion already, even though the seller is not telling you anything, right? It's an act of persuasion. What else? You see the lemon, 5 for 2. 3, the limes, right? 3 for $1. That is an act of persuasion as well. Why you're trying to get somebody to believe the value of whatever they are selling, all right? And the most important one, all right, is this. Look at the whole display. Isn't it an act of persuasion as well? You're trying to tell people that you sell all these fruits, and by displaying all this, right, I'm telling you I have a lot of variety. I'm telling you also that these are fresh. You can come here and have a check, isn't it? Right? These are everything in action. All these are persuasion in action, right? And what happened to the buyer? The buyer probably go there and look, wow, look at the fruits, look so fresh. Should I buy some? And then a lot of decision going on already. And if she decide to buy, then she will say like this. And if I buy, which one should I take? Isn't it? How many of you have been to this kind of situation before when you walk out to a store? Wow, so fresh. Or then should I buy some? And then, which one should I buy? Look at the price. Correct or not? But did the seller do anything to you? They never say anything. But immediately you go and buy, right? Exactly. You see, you know why? How I know how you think? Because I study this stuff, right? This is exactly how human think. So today's training, right, is going to be very valuable. You're going to discover how human think, okay? How human think and how human make decision, right? This is exactly what is happening, even though the seller is not doing anything, you know. So is everybody having a mind blown right now? All right. So this is exactly what is happening. So you need to notice this. And here's the thing that's happening. Influence. Everything that is happening is about influence. It's influencing your decision, how you view a certain thing. So when influence, right, it's about shaping the perception of the other person. All right. Whatever, if they don't, imagine they don't display this, do you think you will see the fruits as being, no, you want to go over there? If they don't keep everything inside the box, do you think they're actually selling something? No, right? So because they have to show all these things to be able to influence what you think about the whole market, the whole store, right? So why is that so important? It's because, right, when you shape people's perception, right, you can affect their belief. And when their belief is affected, right, their decision is affected as well, all right? This is the core of all persuasion. A lot of people are going to teach you a lot of techniques, how to persuade. I'm not going to teach you the technique here, all right? I'm going to show you some things, but most important is for you to understand this, all right? This is the whole core of persuasion, all right? And let me show you one thing is that how, when you change perception, right, you can also actually change the other people's belief. Look at this orange. If I'm going to tell you, right, hey, everyone, this orange is very fresh. What will you think? You probably think like, hey, can I see first? Can I press first? Normally you take on hand and go and grab the orange and then say, hey, you see whether it's squishy or not, you know, whether it's fresh or not, right? But what if I just do one thing? I want to influence your decision. I want to influence your perception on how you see this orange. If I go and cut it off and show it to you like that, do I need to say it's fresh? Do you think it's fresh, everyone? How many of you would believe 100% of the orange is fresh? Type in 1 in the chat box. Type in 1 in the chat box if you think it's fresh. Right? So you see, it's a simple act of actually demonstrating that it's fresh. You already influence other people's decision. They will immediately think it's fresh. So when they want to buy the orange, do you think they will go to you? Exactly. So that is influence, all right? So conclusion, here's what I'm trying to tell you, that selling is about influencing how others, okay, make a decision to buy from you. All right, selling is all about influence because the core of persuasion is influence. You need to know what influence people. So here's what I mean. To be able to close effectively, right, you need to know how influence happens, what affects human decision, and how humans makes decision. Right? And influence, most of the time it happens through heuristics. And heuristics, right, to some of you may be something new, but to some of you, I think you already know this is called cognitive biases as well. Right? Now, heuristics are mental shortcuts or rule of thumb. It's like a shortcut that the brain think, right? Don't need to eat brain energy, don't need to think so much, right? Immediately know, hey, like you wake up in the morning straight away, you go to toilet, then you go to brush your teeth. Those happen subconsciously, all right? Those are heuristic and rule of thumb. Every single day you function like that. Only about 5%, all right? 5 to 10% of your decision is made consciously. So this is the big mind blown for you. 90 to 95% of the time, you make decision every single day, subconscious. Yep, even driving to work as well, Wai Kiong, even driving to work is also subconscious, right? Like you're driving the pedal, when somebody stops, brake in front of you, right? You also brake. All those are heuristics, right? This is how human function. When you understand every single thing about this, right? Because today I want to open your mind, then you understand really, right? Then you'll be able to sell effectively, right? This is the core of everything. And if any lesson about sales doesn't come close to this, right? Then I don't know what they're teaching you, okay? So here's the thing. It also reduces the mental effort to make decision, because when human want to make decision, right, it's a lot of things people have to think through. When, you know, bad or good, they have to contrast this, so it takes a lot of energy, and the brain hates that. The brain is always designed, right, to conserve energy, and that's why humans always rely on this heuristic. And it also, right, helps to simplify complex things to solve problems, right? You know, like how we use metaphor to represent things. Okay, if I tell you, sales is like a river. Okay, sales is like a river where it can be bent, it can be shaped. Okay, it follow the flow. All right, then you can easily understand. Oh, okay, sales is like that. So that is how we actually make meaning. So we simplify complex things using heuristics like that. All right. Now, where does this heuristic happen actually, and why is it a shortcut for our brain? Now, here's what I want you to see. In this picture, right, there's two levels of consciousness, you know, and below the level of consciousness, that means below the brain, below everything that's happening consciously, that you make a decision consciously, is your system 1, where it is very fast, it is instinctive, it is emotional. Okay, all your emotions come from here. All right, and it makes decision, pop, snap of finger. Even before you say yes, right, your brain already make decision. That is how fast the system is. Okay, and it process a lot of information as well. Okay, and the system 2 is the slow part, okay, the executive part of the brain, all right, where slow, it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of energy, and heuristic happens at the system 1, okay, and influence happens here. Influence happens through heuristics, and heuristics, right, affects human decision. So guys, can you see the whole thing right now about sales? Where does the decision from the buyer come from? I'm not even talking about how you sell, you know, I'm just talking about how buyers form decisions so you can influence the decision to buy from you. Can everyone see this right now? Are you guys following me? Is it easy to understand? All right. If it's easy, type in easy. Let me know if it's easy, so that if I did something wrong, I retract back, I re-explain again. Okay, good. Now, sales, very simple. Sales is about persuasion. Persuasion at the core of it is influence. Influence is all about heuristics. It's that simple, right? You're closing us on learning how to sell, exactly. If you can notice this here, very good already. So one of the most important heuristic is this. Okay, I want to teach you this. This is called the framing effect. Where, right, there's a number of heuristics. I think there's probably more than 150 to 250 heuristics, and normally I use between 10 to 20, at most 30. But I'm going to be teaching you, because we're lacking time, I'm going to be teaching you some of the most important one, right? Now, you need to know what is framing effect. Framing effect, right, where it's very simple. I define this way, that people come up with different conclusions when they present with the same piece of information, depending on how it is presented. So the trick is this: how you present the information is how you frame the information. And you can see it like this. This is a negative frame, all right? Contains 20% fat. To many people, it's like negative, right? The frozen yogurt. But you see, the same piece of information, if I present it like that, 80% fat-free. Is it a healthy, positive frame? Exactly right. But you see, what is the difference between 80% fat-free and contains 20% fat? No difference. No difference at all. All right, it's the same thing. It's the matter of choice of wording and how you want to present that information. And this is how powerful framing is. Whatever information, in whatever frame that you present, people will literally believe that kind of information. All right, if I'm going to be telling you sales is hard, right, without showing you it's easy, you're always going to think it's hard. When I show you all this already, right, that at the core it's influence, right, then you know, hey, I also can do lah, correct or not? So it's very, very easy. So this is how it depends on how you present the information, right? So this is very important. And how you can use framing is here. Normally we use pre-framing. This is one of the most powerful one, is pre-framing. You're bringing up a frame of an idea, of a point or an objection or a situation first to either prevent it from being an issue or to set a stage on how you want the other person to perceive things. Are you getting this? Are you following me on this? Okay, you pre-frame something, you bring up an information first. Let's say if I think you feel that this class is going to be a long time, all right? I'm going to show you how Vince pre-frame you. Would it be okay? I'm going to show you how Vince pre-frame you, all right? You remember this message? Titanium, inside the Titanium's mind, he said tonight's topic is going to be secret to sell and close effectively, even you have absolutely no idea to sell. He asked you to get ready, and it will be 2 hours of training. All right, the 2 hours of training is actually to pre-frame you that the time of this will be long, so that no one will be uncomfortable if it's taking too long. And the main reason is very simple. And then to get you ready, okay, I'm going to prepare this set of time to learn about this. All right, that is pre-framing. Highly requested. When he said highly requested, right, it means that you will start to prioritize immediately. Okay, this is important. This is what everyone wants to learn. I also want to learn. So he pre-framed a lot of things here. Social proof. Just by saying that alone, he already pre-framed the social proof that people are wanting to learn about this. And then he said it will be very intense. So that, right, when you come to this, you will come prepared and pay attention to every single thing that I want to teach you and share with you and reveal to you today, right? Now, this is how pre-framing works. And this happens in real life. I straight away capture this. I think of no better idea, right, to actually use this immediately. And this is also to show you, right, Vince is also a master of framing and pre-framing as well. No, he can teach you the mind control. And with all this, right, I also learned a lot from him, all right? And his pre-framing level, I can tell you, is way even beyond my level already, right? But we're actually discussing on ways to even up the pre-framing game, right? Now, Benny said it seems easy, but when doing it, it's not so easy. Well, the thing is that because you need to be prepared to use it first. You need to know what you need to pre-frame first. When you pre-frame, when you have an idea of what to pre-frame, then it will be very automatically comes to you. And like me, it's automatically comes to me already. It won't be like, oh, okay, I need to prepare for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days first. No need. Okay, I can prepare in 1 hour. The thing is that you need to understand how it works. When you understand how it works, right, then immediately you'll be able to use it. You got it, everyone, and you can practice it, okay? And also, remember, when I start this presentation, I do 3 pre-framing. I ask you the question so that you know how valuable this skill is, all right? And then I show you Robert Kiyosaki. And what Robert Kiyosaki said, I did not tell you that selling is the #1 skill in business. Okay, you answered that question. And I used Robert Kiyosaki to tell you. So that is also pre-framing, not using my mouth, okay? So imagine, right, in your business right now, in whatever that you're selling right now, what can you pre-frame to the customers? How can you pre-frame the customers to be more receptive to your pricing, more receptive to your choices, more receptive to your products, your services, right? More receptive to you as a person. How can you pre-frame? Pre-frame can be in any form. It can be in language, it can be in presentation, it can be how you look, all right? If I want to tell other people that I'm rich, okay, do you think, all right, if I buy a fake Rolex and I walk around, nobody see that and I drive so nicely, can people tell me that I'm rich? Probably, right? So that's the thing that you can actually do with pre-framing. But here's the thing, don't use it for bad, because every single information I'm presenting to you, right, is neutral, Don't use it to do something bad, all right? Everything is neutral. So the time it turns bad is very easy. It's on the human side. All right, the human has bad thinking, automatically become bad. The human have good thinking, automatically whatever you use, the tools become good as well. All right. And Vivian, yes, this is also to set the right expectation. Is very important. All right. So when you know how to use this, think about ways of how you can actually use pre-framing, right, to frame whatever that you think is important, okay, for the customer to know before even coming to the sales process, including expectation. And later at the last part, right, I'm going to teach you how to use some pre-framing as well, okay? So don't worry about that. Now, the next one is very important, reframing. Okay, this is where the magic happens as well, okay? You can always reframe an information. What amateur salespeople do is that they don't reframe the information. Whatever the customer give you, right, you just take it as in, all right? So how you want to reframe is something like this. You reframe from an original frame to a new frame to a new meaning. You see, like the negative into a positive. This is one of the methods. Contains 20% fat unhealthy into 80% fat free. Means it has been reframed from a negative to positive light. And then problems into opportunity. Too hard to implement into, all right, if the customer going to tell you, hey, Aaron, this is too hard to implement, then I'm going to say to him, John, that means not many is willing to do it. Therefore, those that can do it, people like you, when you do it already, you will capture the entire market share. Isn't it? Right? When you reframe it like that, it's totally different meaning, you know. Too hard to implement means it's more opportunity for you. Right? And then you can also reframe from bad timing into a perfect timing. For instance, if a customer is going to tell you, we can only start 3 months later, we are busy closing the 4th quarter. Let's say I'm selling this sales program to them, to this corporate, they say to me this, and then I'm going to say back to them, wouldn't it be true also that the sales you want to achieve before the end of 4th quarter will be the most important because it affects your whole bottom line? So right now is actually the best time. You see, you can, from a bad time, they tell themselves it's a bad time. The key is this, because they don't have new information. The key to use framing is that you present new information so they can make new decision. All right? Get it, everyone? Write that down. Later, I'm going to cover that as well. And you can also reframe, right, from weakness into strength. Some people is going to tell you, hey, your company is too small. Your company just started 3-5 people working, can or not? Right? I usually work with big company one. Then you can actually tell them that small company, does it also mean that I have faster response time? I have less bureaucracy, I have less red tape. So I have faster response time, I have personalized service. It's also quality driven because everyone is working on your project personally, right? And also, right, you have me, direct access to the owner. And I'm going to be very flexible when the problem arises because you're only going to be few of the customers that I'm going to be working together with, right? So here's the thing, John, if all this appeals to you, right, let's talk, let's do business, right? Amazing, right, everyone? You see, this is the power of reframing, everyone. So I want you to really think about this, right? Because this is, when you want to present certain information, you can always ask yourself, right, what else could this mean? All right, what else could this mean? Right, write that down. When you ask yourself this, you have this train of thoughts, right, immediately you know, okay, I can reframe it into another thing already. So right now, right, last time until now, if you don't know about this, don't worry because nobody tell you this before. Now that I tell you already, you won't unsee it, you won't unlearn it. Okay, I just open your RS. Right, your RS, your reticular activating system, where it's focusing on what is valuable. So I just opened that for you already, right? So from now onwards, right, you're gonna see every day, right, people is already using reframing one, and you're gonna start using it more often, okay? And you're gonna get very, very good at it. So here's the thing, when you present a new piece of information, right, people will have a new decision to make. So that is the whole point of reframing. You want to give them new information so that they can make new decision. Because if they stuck on the old frame, or the original frame, they're still gonna think, oh, it's too small, it's too small, it's too small. I keep on thinking it's too small, right? Then my decision will be based on it's too small, right? So if I give him the new information, then he will think, oh, okay, with this new information, oh, yeah, lor, I appreciate all this. I want faster response. Now you tell me, now I know. So I can make new decision, correct or not? So whenever you meet an objection, do that, all right? Exactly, look in different angle, right? So this is just a matter of 2 millimeter shift, and I'm giving you that 2 millimeter shift so that you can move on that tangent, right? Where in the end, your result is going to be massive tangent difference, okay? Another one is this, asymmetric dominance effect. So I also use this a lot. I use the decoy effect to nudge people, all right? I don't like to push people to buy things, right? I like to nudge him a little bit, all right? To push him a little bit so that, you know, he move forward. So this is also known as a decoy effect, where the buyers will more likely to choose a better option within the first 2 options if you presented a decoy option. So what I mean by this, right? The second option must be like lower and inferior one. So let's look at how it works in fruit selling. If I sell these 2 fruits, one is orange, one is apple, and I got a lot of stock of apple, all right, and I want to sell the apple. So how do I sell the apple? How do I want to make people choose the apple over orange? Because let's say if I don't like apple or I don't like orange, I will have a hard time to choose, right? If I'm a fan of apple, I very easy go to choose apple one if I'm the buyer, right? So for the buyers that is neutral, they don't have any preference. They say anyone also can, like me. Any fruit also I eat one. So how you want to nudge them to choose apple? Very easy. Look, you just add another apple like that, okay? The good apple dominated the inferior apple. Therefore, the choice is the brain automatically compare the good apple with the bad apple, and then automatically, subconsciously, no need to think, immediately select the apple. 90% of the time. Okay, you can try this in your business. So how I tried in my business last time is this. Okay, I'm going to show you real world example. All right, this is how I tried. You see, I got an old machine on the left-hand side, the white color one. This is my old machine. All right. I bought not too much. That one like 200 units. Okay. And then I got this new machine, 500 units, the white color one. All right. This is where I want to rent out. So I wanted people to choose the new machine because a lot of people, they also like the old machine because it's black color. The white color, they don't like a lot. So I wanted them, because that one has a lot of stock. So how did I use this decoy effect? I straight away add another option inside my brochure, right? I add a purchase package over there. You see how I use this? I add a purchase package, right? Immediately, that is my decoy. I make it so high price, right? So that they think like, oh, crazy one. Who go and buy? I better rent. Immediately, they decide between rent, which one? Rent or buy. They're not deciding between you. See, here is where you're mind blown. They're not deciding between to rent or not to rent, to buy or not to buy. When I presented that decoy, right, they immediately think, okay, rent. They don't think about rent which one. I straight away think about renting the white color one already. I don't even think about not renting, right? This is how you can nudge people a little bit using the decoy effect, right? So can you guys see how you can use this in your business, how you can use this in your sales? Immediately can use this away? Can everyone see how you can use this? So now I'm going to keep this very interactive. I'm going to keep asking a lot of questions. Please type in the chat box if you can see how you use it, because it helps me to understand whether you understand or not. All right. So when you understand, right, then it'll be very good that I can actually proceed. If not, I'll slow down a little bit. I'll take longer time, no problem. Okay. Even if I go to until 12, until 1 o'clock, I also take longer time, no problem. All right. Just as long as you guys stay with me. I want you guys to understand every single thing that I'm teaching you today. All right. Even though it's compact, it's within these 2 hours, right? I'm very, very sure this is going to blow your mind away, right? All right. And when you take action, it's going to mean a lot in your business. All right. This is the small levers that you can actually tweak. Okay. Now, another one is this single option aversion. Let me get a drink first. All right. This is where, right, people assign risk to a decision where there's only one option in a set of choice. And without something similar to compare to, people will, our brain will struggle to look at the value. All right. And how it looks like is this. There's a company that did research, right? I also use this in my business, so I'll show you later. There's a company that did research, right? When they present people with this DVD, just one piece, will you buy this DVD? Only 10% purchase. And then the magic happens here. They present 2 DVD, 2 different type DVD, 2 different price from same company. Which one will you buy? Immediately 66% purchase. That is a 660% increase. How many of you would like to do that in your business? You see, just simple things like that. There's a 660% increase, you know. You're not presenting with one option, because just like I said, if you present with one option, right, people will think between buying or not buying. When you present with different options, then the brain will start contrasting, thinking, you affect the brain already. The brain start looking, option A or option B better. Suddenly, they never think about option C, which is to not buy. They never think about it already. They straight away shifted the focus towards thinking that. And this happens naturally, guys. This happens naturally. Every single human is the same. All right. There's no human that is not susceptible to this. And even though the magic is here, I teach you this already. It's same gonna happen to you. It's the same thing. When you see this, you know already, but your brain is gonna function the same way. All right. You cannot escape from this. Every single one. All right. Even I myself, I cannot escape from this as well. All right. Seriously. Okay. Now this is how I use it. Remember, you see the package, I put one rental package immediately. I wanted to rent the whole thing. I know I wanted to rent my machine. 500 machine come to Malaysia already. So I wanted to fast rent it out. So the thing is that if I just put the rental package, it means people will choose between renting or not renting. So when I put the purchase package inside, they'll immediately think purchase or rent. See how I direct their mind? And the big thing here is this, you know, I don't even need to say a single thing. My salesperson or anyone that I hire, go there and pass them this brochure already. They immediately know how to think rent or buy, rent or buy, rent or buy. See, just a simple trick. Even in a brochure, it can work like that. Even in your website, even when you talk to people, whenever you present a solution to people, remember this, present it in another option as well. All right. And that option you can put as decoy, put as inferior, put as overpriced, no problem. Let them see, and then see the goodness in the option that you want to sell. All right. Another one is this anchoring effect. Okay, anchoring effect. I also always rely on this, and people because this is where people rely heavily on the first piece of information when they're making decision. And the anchor effect, the reference point that the brain uses as a starting point, is very, very highly influential. All right. Whatever information that you receive first, you use it to compare to the rest. I show you how it works, okay? When the brain forms an anchor, right, it creates this small thing called bias, all right? And every single thing after that is being affected by this, all right? Just like how I anchor you that sales is very important. So after this, right, then if you remember, right, at the front, I said I'm going to blow your mind. Vince said I'm going to blow your mind as well, right? So every single piece of information that I'm going to present to you after this, right, will most likely blow your mind, right? All right? That is how anchoring happens, okay? So, for example, price anchoring happening in a retail sales environment, how it happens is that, when you show the most expensive item first, everything else will seem like a bargain. All right. If the buyer is heavily qualified, that means they have the money to buy. They're not just window shoppers. When you see the first item and then it's the most expensive one, then the rest of the item will become very like a bargain. All right. Because the price of the first item become the anchor already. So how it works is like this. Imagine yourself walking into a shop, all right? You want to buy a shoe, all right? And you have this budget set, 200 to 300. Okay, I walk into the shop, I want to buy this shoe. And then meet the sales promoter. The promoter say, hey, so what kind of shoe you want to look like? Can you show me all the one with 200 and 300 range one? Okay, then she bring all the 200 and 300 range to you. Then after that, right, when you try already, okay, when you want to give, the decision to buy already, right, then the promoter says this to you. Hey, can I wow you? W-O-W, can I wow you? Of course, you say yes, right? You cannot say no, right? Then after that, yeah, sure, go ahead. Now, sir, I got these new shoes, which is, you don't need to buy, It just came in, but it's very expensive. But it's very comfortable, I try it. I just want you to try it. I just want to see how it feels. And then I show you this. It's a 900 ringgit pair of $900 pair of shoes. So when I try it already, right? Then after that, how it feels, sir? Wow, it's really actually different. Looks different, feel different already. Very comfortable, just like you said. Very comfortable, right? Now, sir, this is also very expensive. You know what? I have another option. Same look like this, okay? Look exactly same like this, but it's only priced at 450 only. Would you like to take a look? Now, you see, immediately what happened is this, your anchor, you see, when people give you an anchor, 200, 300, you can change the anchor also. This is what I want you to know. When people throw you a budget, that doesn't mean that budget is final, Like Vince always said, when people throw you final and you accept, that means you're cutting yourself a lot on the table, putting a lot on the table. So when people give you this anchor already, right, you can always change the anchor, but you present the value together with the anchor. And then when you present something that's inferior to that, but it's almost the same quality, people will look at the new price already. From 200 to 300 increase to 450. How many of you think that's awesome? All right, if you can do this in your business, right? Now, everything I'm teaching you is very actionable. So you need to take practice. You need to put into action and think. And then we're just starting, guys. We're just starting. There's a lot more that I haven't covered, right? So think about how you can use this in your business. And then authority bias, okay? Authority bias, I think everyone also knows this, that, there is a tendency for human to believe that the opinion of authority has greater credibility and are more influenced by that opinion. So I want to ask you this. How many people, right, actually question doctor before? I never questioned doctor before, right? People almost never question. What if I tell you the doctor sitting in the clinic is actually a fake one? Will you ever question him? Have anybody thought of to question the doctor? Most likely no. Almost never. Because you know that, okay, this sit in clinic, talk like doctor, must be doctor. Right? So that's the powerful thing about authority bias, and this will help people to make decisions faster, all right? Because they trust. When you build trust already, then it's easier for you to sell, all right? So when buyers perceive you to have more authority, they will more likely listen to your opinion. And how do you want to build authority? Very easy. In one-to-one selling environment, or even one-to-many, like I'm talking here on a webinar, right? It's very easy only. You ask useful and insightful question, meaning this question only your industry will ask. Like I asked just now, and what is the most valuable skill? Because no people will ask you that kind of question. Only people specific to certain industry will ask you that kind of question. And then when people see that already, right, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? That is when you use question to show your authority, all right? So there will be more bias towards you. And then you be knowledgeable in your industry and share real value, meaning you need to share something that really can help people, and you really go and study your industry as well, okay? And here's the trick. You can always be this, 10, 20% ahead of other people. When you do that already, right, when you're ahead, you also can appear very knowledgeable one, all right? Now, why I tell you this is very important, because a lot of times, right, we know we want to study a lot of things. We can't study 100%. So what I want you to know is that when you got 10% ahead of everyone, 20% ahead of everyone, you can always already use the information, right, to build trust, to build that authority. You get what I mean? All right. Now, don't use that for bad. I don't teach you this thing to use for bad. I'm just teaching you on a neutral way so that you know how to use it. Okay. Now, you can also provide connection and access. When you provide connection to people, let's say people want to do deal, like Vince, when he always provide connection to people, you know, so that's why he appears as the authority, and he also provide you access. Okay, you want to learn this, I get this fella come in here and teach you guys. When he provide access, immediately he become authority. Nobody will question him, man. All right, that is providing access and connection. All right, you can also be associated with authority figure, like borrowing authority. So like me now, I was behind the scene working, so when you see me mixing with Vince together, right, and then just sitting around, right, then you can see, oh, this must be someone important. Those are borrowing authority as well. Use it to your own good, okay? You can always borrow authority, but people are more wary right now because a lot of people are borrowing fake authority. They think that nobody's going to find out. So you must always be careful with this, okay? So that is the part of the influencers. These are the few heuristic. There's a lot more, okay? There's going to be like, there's a lot more. There's 50 over actually. So what you can do is that actually you can learn more about this, right? I mean, in books, you can read more books about this, about heuristic, because for me to explain everything, right, I think it's going to be until tomorrow lah, okay? So these are the few main important ones that's going to help you a lot, okay? So the next one is this: how human makes decision, right? Now this is the big thing. People buy on emotion and justify with logic. How many of you heard this before? Have you understand why actually when people say this? Do you understand why people buy on emotion and justify with logic? Now my question is, do you understand why? Yes or no? Do you understand why? Don't know, right? Now, I'm going to tell you why. Because when you understand why, then you know every single decision that you have made, right, from your past until today, and every single decision they're going to make from today onwards and for the rest of your life, it's going to be based on one thing and one thing only. And that is emotion. All right. I'm going to explain to you why. Okay. There's this researcher, neuroscientist. His name is Antonio Damasio. All right. So he researched on people that has brain damage on the part which feels emotion on the brain. Okay. So when he researched on this kind of people, right, he was talking to them. And then one fine day when he was talking, he suddenly found out about this. He was interviewing and then he said, okay, come back next week for another appointment. So what happened was he gave 2 dates, either Thursday or Saturday. So what happened was the fellow with the brain damage sit down there. After 20 minutes, right, didn't give Antonio a decision, you know. What he was doing, he taking out his book and was writing down the pros and cons. Okay, this day is going to rain. It's very logical, very rational. Okay, this day is going to rain. This day I cannot. This day, the time like that. He weighing all the pros and cons. He cannot make a decision. He was there for 20 minutes and Antonio was like, wow, I cannot wait anymore. So he stopped him and then he suggested, how about Thursday? Then immediately the fella say, oh, okay. Close his book and move on already. And come back next Tuesday. So you see, here's the thing. That is the research, right? And there's enough research to proven, right, that people with brain damage, okay, at the part that cannot feel emotion, means the people will have a very hard time justifying, very hard time making decisions because they do not know. They go all logical. And that is why, right, emotions help us to solidify a decision. And that is why people say people buy on emotion and justify with logic. Can you see why right now? Can you finally see why people say people buy on emotion and justify on logic? Right? So I'm going to show you how I make buying decision based on emotion and justify on logic. This is my personal case. All right. See, when I was going to buy this watch, right, this is Maurice Lacroix. Okay, how I bought an emotion is very simple. It was a $13,000 watch I was buying at the time. So it was expensive. So I thought it was luxurious. Luxury is very status-like kind of emotion, right? And then it's a brand new model. So remember this, everybody likes new thing. Nobody likes old thing one, okay? Because it's brand new, so it affected my emotion. Oh, this is brand new model. And then it feels like, right, when I bought this, right, it feels like I finally made it to another level. But in fact, right, my level is just the same only. But it feels like when I wear that watch, right, wow, damn good. This what feel like, I'm on another level. And then, right, what I like about this watch is because it looks like Audemars Piguet, right? Anyone who knows Audemars Piguet, right, it has this kind of pattern, the same one, the dial, the three panda type dial, right? It looks exactly like the same. So this is, to me, right, was the more affordable version of AP, because AP is very expensive and it feels good, all right, on my hand. And that is how I make my buying decision. I was like going through all these emotions, right, when I was making the decision. And then when I bought already, this is how I justify the decision. At that time, there was a 30% discount, all right? I did not make my decision because it's a 30%. I make my decision because of all the reasons on the left-hand side. And then I justify to myself, okay, now, right now, it has a 30% discount, so it must be very good, all right? A good time to buy. Now, the quality also good because it's from a very well-known company. And then suddenly the salesperson come and tell me, hey, sir, you also can pay by EPP. Why for you want to pay 13,000 immediately? Okay, even less, the discount going to be 10K. So you pay 758 per month. Every single month you pay 758, you can own a $10,000 watch, right? Not bad, ma. Correct? Not. That is the logic, all right? And then I justify to myself somehow, hey, anyway, the AP is 80K, 100K. This is only 15% of the price of AP. Some more look like AP. Okay lah. Then I buy. You see, this is how I justify with logic. Everyone, so can you see now why people buy on emotion and justify with logic? All right. Vivian, you say sound familiar, right? Now I know what kind of person you are already, immediately. Okay. Everybody, almost everyone like that. You buy something already, right? And then suddenly you go home, even though you don't use it, you start to justify, oh, the time was cheap, that's why I buy. You think of reason yourself, correct or not? Every single one of you. I'm sure, right, that is all the time, not one time, all the time you're like that. Buy something already, even though got no use, because you're got sale, buy already, come back home, see, don't know what to do. Never mind, the time sale, buy already, buy use, correct or not? Everybody is the same, all right? So we go on to this. The one must-have ingredient, like I promised to you, I'm going to share with you. The one must-have ingredient in every successful sale is this, all right? Trust. Yes, trust. Because when you have trust, right, everything works. Price doesn't matter anymore when you have trust, right? So you need to know about this. What thing about trust when first matters to your client in your prospect mind is this. When you first meet them, when you try to sell them something, they'll think this: do you really care, like for real? Or are you just trying to sell me something? Are you trying to sell me shit? Right? This is what your prospect is thinking. Whenever a salesperson try to approach them with a product, okay, this is what's going on. So that is why they're untrustworthy. And even more so in today's world, where you think today people are more trusting. No, even more so untrusting in today's environment, because information is at their fingertips. They know, right? The moment you cheat them on any feature or product or pricing or anything you say unreal, immediately they check, you gone case. You don't need to sell anything to him already, because they immediately lose trust in you already. Okay, so that is something that you must understand about trust. Okay, so what are the components of trust? Very simple, 3 things. First is capability. The buyers must believe you can do what you say you can do. You tell them you want to do something, they must believe you can do it, and then you show them you can do it. Right? That is your capability, what you can do for them. And integrity. This is very important. Like Vince and I, we always say this one, because we are always in the business of world delivering, right? We always based on integrity. The buyers must believe you have strong moral principle and you honor your commitment consistently. Like I keep on telling you, you cannot use them for bad. You cannot use them. Everything I tell you is neutral one. You cannot use them for bad. If you keep on using for bad, right, then you cannot learn this. Okay, and then you're not right to learn this. Even Vince said it from the start. This is moral principle, or this is the things that we have. So here's the thing. I want you guys to promise me, right, whatever they're going to be learning today, right, you don't use it to do 2 things, all right? 1, you never violate the universal laws, meaning like gravity, light, people will get old, never violate that rule, all right? Number 1. Second, you don't violate the rights of another human being. You don't take away their rights from family. You don't take away their rights from another human being. You don't take their rights from being a human, from their children, from earning, from makan, from eating, anything, okay? Don't take their rights away. That's it, okay? However you want to use this information, up to you. Don't do that 2 things. I'm fine with it. I'm pretty sure Vince also fine with that. Okay. So that is integrity. All right. So you must be able to show your integrity like that. All right. And I'm going to show you how you can actually do it later. All right. And intimacy is very important as well. You spend some time together and then you create some shared experiences. All right. Meaning the more time you spend with somebody, right, the more you grow to know him, the more intimate you grow, and then the more you will be more trusting. That is how intimacy happens. Same with people. This is all about people. It's not even about trust or anything. It's about people. All right. So how you want to build trust? This is the slowly but surely work method. All right, one, you demonstrate authority and expertise. Okay, you based on your past result, share your past result, share what others is saying, share insights. Insights meaning things that they don't know or things that they understand very little. They know about this thing, but they understand very little, but you help them to understand more. Those are insights. Okay, and you share credibility as well, all right? Whatever that makes you credible, share all those things. It's not enough for people to know that you're credible. You must show them that you're credible as well, all right? Now, you can also demonstrate conviction. Conviction is like, okay, like me, I'm teaching this subject, you see, I'm very passionate. I can say for 100% sure this is neutral, this is working, this is, no, I can show you results. This is conviction. I know that every single business, if you know how to sell right, you will definitely get sales for sure, right? You won't be like the businesses that is in a dire state right now. Okay, this is sales. No, this is my conviction. Like Vince also, he has this conviction, man. Okay, so demonstrate that kind of conviction. Here's a trick. You can also always admit a fault or imperfection. This is one quick way to build trust. A lot of people is not using this and they use it the wrong way. Okay, they say sorry, and then they try to sapu the customer, try to satay the customer like that. Hey, sorry. Maybe I give you this, I give you this. Okay, when you use this, right, the trick is that you cannot bow down. All right, when you admit a fault or imperfection, you admit from a status of a peer. All right, I'm admitting to you not because I want to make you buy. I'm admitting to you because I want you to see that, all right, I'm at fault, I'm willing to admit fault, okay? Two same action, different result because you have different intention, okay? All right, okay, so demonstrate understanding, all right? You also need to demonstrate understanding. So when demonstrate understanding is about you understanding another person, okay, when you say like, you know, I understand you, that is not demonstrating understanding. Demonstrating understanding means, you know what they're going through. Okay, it seems like you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this, A, B, C, and it's not working. Now that is demonstrating understanding, okay? So when you see something like that, right, that means you show the other person, okay, this is what you're going through. So that is how you demonstrate understanding. Are you getting this, everyone? Are you following with me? Okay, so, and then you also need to show more interest in your customer success. Now, this is where a lot of salespeople, a lot of people, right, that has been trained in sales, I also don't know what happens is that they don't show interest in the customer success. All right, they only care about my pocket, my money. I want to sell you this thing, and that's it. Very transactional. But when you show your interest, okay, I want you to be successful. Like today, I show my interest to you. I tell you, you must use this. It will show results to you. That is how I show my interest. When I show my interest like that, right, immediately it will build trust to me, isn't it? Right? Do you feel that just now? I mean, if I keep on telling you, you need to use this, it will help you. I show interest in your success. Like Vince show interest in your success. That way, the trust level is very high. Okay? And then you demonstrate congruency. You do what you say you do. Okay? Congruency means similar. You say A, you do A. You say B, you do B. You don't say A, suddenly you do A, B, C. Okay? That is not good. So don't move away from incongruency. All right? Don't say A and do B. Don't ever do that. Okay? Be very, very consistent. All right? Now, there is also another way, a faster way to build trust, which I'm going to show you, and I want you to understand this principle of yin and yang first, okay? How many of you want to learn a faster way to build trust? Type in yes in the chat box if you want a faster way to build trust. Very immediate one, this one. Don't need to do all these kind of things. Wow, okay, good. Everyone seems like flooding the chat box. All right, so the principle of yin and yang. All right, so before we continue with this, how is everybody doing? Is everybody following? Is this session really exciting up till now? Is everybody being mind blown every single second? Awesome, awesome, good. All right, now this is gonna keep me more energized to keep on sharing, okay? Now, I want you to know about the principle of yin and yang. It means that everything has a counterbalance, correct or not? If you studied yin and yang before, but I think this is a very universal. There's day, there's night, right? There's rain, there's sunshine, there's earth, there's air, right? Everything has a counterbalance. So just like that, right? try to think about this. What is the counterbalance of trust? What is it? Now, that was my question when I was finding out about this, and then I found out already. And here I'm going to reveal to you. You don't need to think. I do the thinking for you already. So, just like a seesaw, there is a counterbalance, okay? So when one side come down, one side must come up, correct, right? Okay, that is a counterbalance. So on one side, there's this trust. And another side is risk. Are you getting this, everyone? When trust goes up, risk will go down. When risk go up, trust will go down. Okay, so here's what I mean. Risk is all about uncertainty and the idea of losing control. That is risky to people. I cannot see the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. I cannot see the result. That's why I feel uncertain. That's why people don't buy things. I don't make decisions. And then the idea of losing control. I can't control the outcome. I can't control the process. I will feel risky. That is risk. And so what is trust? On the other side is certainty and predictability. So in the essence, this is the core things that makes up risk and trust, right? Certainty and predictability. When things are certain, when things are clear, have clarity, I can move forward. I know what's going to happen. I have certainty. Immediately have trust, all right? And when things are predictable, when I show you, okay, I'm going to show you a way to do this, then I can build trust ready. So here's what I'm trying to tell you, that if risk is zero, then trust must be present. I'm not saying that risk is zero, trust must be very high, If risk is zero, then trust must be immediately present. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of trust is it, what kind of risk. When the risk is zero, the trust must be present. Okay, and when presence of trust, right, it makes the decision feel safe. And when a decision feels safe, people are ready to make a decision. Is this making sense, everyone? Are you following me on this? Awesome, good. Now, how to build trust the faster way. Now you understand this concept already. Now this is how you build trust. The faster, but you require some kind of creative thinking. I cannot help you with the creative thinking, so you have to think yourself. All right. Here's the thing. Reduce the risk and make it easier for people to do business with you. Now you know who is doing this always. Vince also always do this one. He always reduce the risk for you. Make it easier for people. Think of ways how you want to make it easier for people to come into your system first. All right. No obligation trial, warranty, demonstration. And right, a lot of people are not giving guarantee and they put all the risk on the customer. Okay, I sell you this $100 product. You go and try out first. If not okay, then you come and talk to me. Then maybe I think about refunding your money. Now, that is very bad. But if you see, the idea is this, if you give a guarantee, right? I'm talking about guarantee right now. Sir, I'll guarantee this product, 100 ringgit, $100 will work, all right? And if it doesn't work for you, right, return to me, I'll refund you. With that, you see, you have to look at the big picture. With that guarantee alone, your sales are probably triple from maybe you're selling 1,000 unit to 3,000 unit, or maybe to 2,000 unit. But the people that come and refund, if your product is really good, you think how many come and refund? Do you think people will take the refund for granted? How many people will take that? I only will do a refund if I think it doesn't benefit me. If the product is really not good. But if it's good, you think people will refund, not if I get the result that I want? No, exactly right. So that's the thinking you must have. When you give a guarantee, right, you're actually telling people, hey, I trust my product. There's no risk on you. I take every single risk. And by all means, all sellers should take all the risk. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Take all the risk. Let it easier for people to come into the system and do business with you. Immediately, you can see your closing rate increase. Okay? Can you see how you use this in your business? All right. And then one more thing, the demonstration. It's very simple. Remember earlier I showed you an orange. If I tell you the orange is fresh, I'm just telling you, right? You remember this quote, not show, don't tell. I'm sure you heard of it before, right? So think of ways how you can show that your product works, how you can demonstrate it. When you can demonstrate how your product works, for example, there's this company in US, they do this vacuum, and they show it stronger than Dyson. How they show it stronger is that the suction power of Dyson, they go and suck in front of people, it's up to a certain level, the water level. And then when they use their one, they suck the water right all the way up to the neck. Right? That is how they actually demonstrate their product is more powerful. Do they need to say a lot? Don't need. They just demonstrate like that. Okay. Think of ways how you can demonstrate as well. When you can demonstrate it works, that means it will work. All right. Now, It means that you take on all the risk and you need to be predictable. Be predictable is very, very simple. You allow the customer to visualize the process. What is next? A lot of times when you sell, and I sell last time, is that we don't even allow people to say what is next. Let's say I'm selling furniture right now, right? I'm going to tell you, all right, when you put an order, right? So next 2 weeks, you will get a message from me, and then we will be doing this already. And then by the 3rd week, immediately we'll be packing. And then by the 4th week already, right, we'll be ready to send out. Before we're ready to send out, 3 days before, I'll give you that. So this is how you can actually let people visualize the process. So they know, okay, this is what you're going to do. So when people can see what you're doing, right, it means what? It means the certainty is there. They don't feel uncertain. Hey, is this guy going to cheat me or not? Is this guy going to really do what he say or not? Right? So you see, when you use this way, right, allow the customer to visualize the problem, immediately you build the trust already. And these are the 4 ways how you can build trust faster and use some of your creative choices to do it. So can everybody do it? Can every one of you do it right now? Can you see how you can do it? Reply in the chat box if you can do it, if you think you can do it. So how many people is enjoying thus far until now? And we're just at the first part, I got another 6 parts to cover. Not tired, is it? Because if you're going to be tired, I can give you some rest, no problem. Overnight also can. Don't lah. I probably need to get some sleep as well. Right, so for people that's outside of Malaysia, I'm really sorry that if my slang you cannot understand, please let me know in the box if my slang you have some problem, and I'll start restructuring it back, right? So that it's going to be more standardized in my slang, okay? So 300 meters deep, Wai Kiong, I'm going to get you deeper in, okay? Now, here's the thing about trust. Trust comes from people knowing and understanding that you're in it for them, not for you. Write this down. Trust comes from people knowing and understanding that you're in it for them. It's not enough only for them to know. They must also understand truly that you're in it for them. Okay, whatever you do based on this. Okay? Now, the second part is here. So what do you need so that you can sell and close effectively? Number one, you need to change the way you look at selling. All right? And here you go. The only focus that you have in sales after understanding everything in the first part just now, your only focus is this, right? And nobody else is going to teach you this. I'm the only one that can teach you this because this is what I created. Help your customer make the best decision for them. Write this down, everyone. Help your customer to make the best decision for them. This changes every single thing you see in sales. A lot of people see sales as, I want to sell a product. I tell you the price, I tell you the feature, will you buy? A lot of people think like that in terms of products. Never think of product. Sales is all about helping the other people make the best decision for them. So you see, can you see, with this mindset, right, immediately you change the way you look at selling already. Okay, when you meet a buyer, immediately think, okay, how can I help him to make the best decision? You will obviously give more information. You'll obviously present him with things that can influence his decision when you know that thing is right for him, right? Everything changes with this. Right? This is your only mindset that you need to carry. Don't need a lot of things. All right? Just this mindset alone will change every single thing you know about sales. Okay? Remember this. Always help your customer to make the best decision for them. Help them make decision, not force them to buy, not ask them to buy. Those are the wrong kind of thinking that you shouldn't be having. Okay? Now, so here is what it means to you, that you are there to help your customers solve their problem and help them succeed. So what you need to do with this is that you need to lead with value so that you help them understand the information. Nowadays, you heard of people, okay, salespeople need to give information. Am I right? That is wrong as well. Information is available in Google. So you don't need to give people information. What you need to do is to help people understand the information. Is this making sense, everyone? When you help them make decisions, you need to help them understand the information. What is the truth? What is not the truth? What is the benefit? What is not the benefit? How it can help them? How can it affect them? So this is how you help them understand information, right? So you see, with this kind of thinking, immediately you change your sales, different part already, totally different level. I can tell you that 99%, right, of the people don't know this. Every one of you that's inside here right now, now that you know this already, right, you are not allowed to use back the old ways. You do not allow yourself to use back the old ways, okay? So please use these new ways of thinking and use it in your everyday selling. So when you focus on leading, this is one thing, you will stop being needy, you'll stop being desperate, you'll stop being fearful. Immediately, I don't need to teach you how to not be fearful. Because you see, when you want to help people make decision, do you think you'll be fearful that if people make the wrong decision? No, what, right? People are making their own decision. You give everything they need to make the right decision already. So it means that you won't have fear of selling anymore. You won't be desperate, because if you're only focusing on closing the sales, I want to get the money, I want to sell something, that is you actually focusing on the sale, and you will get desperate. Oh shit, I can't close the sales, how? So you keep on feeling like that, all right? So immediately with this thinking, you let go of that everything already, all right? So that is the 4 principles you must follow, all right? Help the other people to make the best decision for them, all right? And that is all for your mindset. Enough. I can go on and on for this, but for this moment, this mindset is enough to get you forever already. It can set you up for life, for entire your selling career. Whatever that you want to sell right now, this will set you up for life, okay? Now, the third section is this. You need to understand what people are buying, all right? Now, guys, have you noticed one thing? Guys, I want to ask you all, have you noticed one thing, that you see what I'm doing here, your learning progress, what is selling, I do one by one. Am I letting you to visualize the process? Am I letting you visualize where you are right now instead of you thinking, oh, don't know when it's going to end? Exactly right. Now, this is how I help you to visualize the process. I'm a practitioner. I practice what I preach, okay? So I let you know right now, if you haven't noticed, this is how I actually help you to visualize, so that you know, okay, I'm at section 3 already. There's 5 more sections to go. I'll pay attention as well, right? That is how I show you progress, okay? This is how I build trust with you as well, right? Now, what are people buying exactly? Now, this is one of the most amazing thing that I've discovered when I was selling and learning about sales and doing all the research. So let me have a glass of water first. So, has anyone heard of this old saying before, that people don't want a drill, they want a hole? Anyone that heard of this before? Type in me in the chat box. It seems like quite a lot of people also heard of this before, that, you know, people don't want a drill, they want a hole. Unfortunately, today, right, I need to prove you wrong, because this is only partially correct, because this is only half the equation. All right, I'll show you what it means, Benny. Okay, I'll show you what it means. So what people really want is the outcome of the whole. Mind blown, right? Guys, are you having a epiphany right now? What people really want is the outcome of the whole. A beautiful wall, a storage space, a door. People don't want a drill. Okay, people buy a product not because of a product. People buy a product to do something, to get something done, to get the benefit of the product that brings to it. Is everybody following me? All right. So what people really want is this, is what your product or service can do for them instead of the product or service itself. That is why I say don't focus on the product or service. Focus on your customer and you can see the answer. All right. What people really want is what your product or service can do for them instead of the product or service itself. And this means that people buy results and outcomes. They don't buy products. I buy a drill because I wanted a picture on my wall, a picture of me and my son and my family on the wall. That is what I wanted. But how many people that sell the drill knows about that? They don't know. But if you're going to sell a $3,000 drill, you better make sure you know that, right? Why I need to do that? Because now I'm going to tell you the reason. I understand him. I ask questions. I understand why is he trying to buy this drill? What is he using for, right? Is he trying to save time? Is he trying to get something done, right? Everybody has something they want to get done with the product or service. They're not buying your product or service for your product or service. Do you understand, everybody? So I'm going to show you another picture of what it means also, all right? So here is what people are buying exactly, all right? Most important, let's say the customer is trying to buy a skateboard, all right? They're not buying the carbon skateboard, the thing on the right, the Swiss bearing, the titanium hardware, the polyurethane wheels, all those are features. And then it has a lot of benefits as well. They're not buying for the benefits. I'm sure the The hollow trucks and polyurethane wheels are very hard, but they're not buying for that. They're buying for the enjoyment of being able to skate. And those are the things that influence, oh, okay, this one can last longer. All right, I'll buy this because it can withstand more impact when I jump and land on the floor. Okay, I'll buy because of that, right? So this is the most important to your customers, not the product or service. They wanted to buy the enjoyment, the fun, right? So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Here is where your customer are. Okay, anyone of you played Super Mario before? Just so that we are on the same page. Anyone knows about Super Mario? You never played, also never mind, but have you known about Super Mario before? I'm sure most of you know, right? Heard of it. It's very iconic, this kind of game character from Japan. Yep. So this is the version 1.0, right? Here is where your customers are, a very painful place. Where they want to go is version 2.0. You remember or not that the Mario have one flower, once they eat the flower already, they can spit out the fire, right? Now, for those of you that never played before, then they actually have this flower inside the game where it's a power-up item, where you take the power-up item and then you can spit out fire already, okay? So the version 2.0 is where they want to be. It's a pleasurable place for them. It's a pleasurable feeling, right? They want to move away from pain into pleasure. That's what's mean, okay? And there, in the middle, there is a gap. And your product or service, now, get ready to be mind blown again. Your product or service is just a vehicle from them to help them to go from version 1.0 to version 2.0. Do you get this, everybody? Can you see this? Your product or service is just a vehicle, a car to get them from point A to point B. That's it. It's never about the product or service. Everybody, are you getting this? Once you understand this, this is everything for you in sales. All right. These are all very advanced stuff, very human psychology. All right. Okay. So you understand this already, right? Okay, great. Now, here's the thing. This is your potential customer. And the product that you're selling is the flower. So what they're actually buying is, oh, I can spit out the fire right now like the Mario, all right? Can do awesome things. I'm buying because it can help me to do some other things. I'm buying because it helped me to solve a problem. I'm buying because it makes me feel good. I'm buying the watch. You think I cannot tell time to handphone right now? And I can tell you, everybody, right, that buys a watch right now, I don't care what price is it, it's an emotional thing. It's never a logical, because you can tell time using your phone. Why do you want a watch? You get that? Nobody needs a watch right now. Every single watch that you buy is going to be an emotional one. It's because you're attached. You want the watch. You want to look good, right? It's always that, right? So what motivates people? Now you understand what people is buying. So what motivates people to buy? One is the desire for gain, where this is also called pleasure. People want to move towards pleasure. The second is the fear of loss, which is also the avoidance of pain, where people want to avoid pain. All right, they want to move away from pain into place of pleasure, like A to B just now. Can you see how it links in together? Version 1.0 to version 2.0 is because version 2.0 is where they desire, and version 1.0 is where they don't want to be. So they want to move away from that. So another thing is many people never tell you the buyer's desire to solve their problem. A lot of time when people notice they have problem, but they don't have desire to solve. When they don't have desire, you have to build that desire. If you can't build the desire, then it's very hard for you to solve the problem, to sell something to them. And here's the pro tip. The pain of loss is at least 2 times more compared to the pleasure of gain. Right? Write that down. The pain of loss. So a lot of times, if you focus on building the pain, it's actually good enough to make people want to move away from that. A lot of people you see when they do promotion, they entice, 50% discount, 50% discount, 30 ringgit, $30 discount, maybe something just to entice everything they've got to gain. Okay, you use this, you get something at 100 ringgit or $100 more. So when you keep seeing things like that, they are always focusing on pleasure, on the gain part. Listen to me. You know, you need to build urgency for action to happen, right? For people to take action. And urgency is built on pain. It's never built on pleasure. Oh, remember this. Urgency is always built on pain. Okay? When you build pain, you make people painful, then they will be more urgent. You cannot entice, right, people with a lot of promotion. Right? That's why you see a lot of people do promotion. It's just for like probably a one-off thing. It won't make people go back for every single time, right? You always need to focus on pain, okay? Are you getting this, everyone? So after you understand all this, right, how do you want to find out what are you really selling, what you are really selling, okay? So I give you these 3 easy questions, okay, to revolve around the pain, the pleasure, and also what problem does your product and service solve. So you need to ask yourself this question: what problems or challenge does your product or service solve? The second question is this: what do your customers want to avoid? And number 3 is this: what do your customer wants to gain? So when I answer this question, when I'm selling a sales course right now, a sales training, when I answer this question, right, I will answer in first perspective, in their perspective. So I'll give you an example of how I answer this. All right, this is your exercise. Did everyone write the question down already, or you want a screenshot? If everyone write the question down already, so I'm going to go into an example of how I answer. Right. Okay. Now here's how I answer. Right. I'm answering from first perspective. I'm thinking like a customer. I'm answering from customer mind. All right. So the fella that want to get my training to come and sign up for me, he'll be thinking, okay, I'm not getting enough income because I could not close the sale. I can only see the commission, but it's not really getting into my pocket. And the prospect always tell me they need to think about it after I present, and they never get back to me. So that is the challenge, right? So that is how you need to think, right? When you think yourself as a customer, immediately you can see the problem. Because a lot of times when we think as seller, right, we focus too much on our product and service. We never focus on our customers. When we switch the game around, when we switch the thinking, immediately you can see the problem. Why people want to buy your product, right? Is it clear? Is it easy for you to understand this? Now, the next question is, what do your customer wants to avoid? And they're going to say something like this: I'll lose this job if I don't perform by next month. I have bills to pay. I have rent to pay. I have mouths to feed. My wife will get pissed off if she knows I lose the job, and she's probably going to divorce me. I don't want to feel useless. I'll lose the chance to watch my children grow normally. So you see, these are the things that I want to avoid as somebody who's buying that sales course, because I know it will help me to do more sales, because I want to avoid all this from happening. But how many times does the seller go and find out about this? Not many times, right? Now, later I'm going to show you a video, all right? Just stay with me. Later I'm going to show you a video on how you want to understand your buyers, and I'm going to teach you how to read your prospect mind, all right? Is everyone waiting for that? Are you ready for that? Type in ready if you're ready for that. It's going to be in like probably 10, 20 slides more. Great. All right. So the last question is this: what do your customer wants to gain? So I'll answer it in this tone. I want to hit my quota every time and make $20,000 commission every month. And I want to do it in an easier, proven way, and it needs to work immediately. I want to provide for my family and be a responsible and good father for my children and husband to my wife that they expect me to be. Can you see what people want to gain right now instead of just the product or service? Okay, can all of you see this when you answer this kind of question in this way? Right, so with this 3 questions, right, I want you to after this, immediately use these 3 questions and guide yourself. This just the starting point to get yourself to see, okay, what are you really solving? What challenges are you solving? What do your customer want to gain? What do your customer want to avoid? Okay. Now, and this is the end of the 3rd part. So we're going to go into the 4th part. And the 4th part is understanding your buyer. All right. This is where I'm going to teach you to have this superpower to read your prospect's mind, so that way you can talk their language, like immediately how I talk your language. Right? Would that be cool with you, everybody? Do you want to learn this? Type in I want if you want to learn this. All right. So here is the harsh reality. The buyers do not care about you. They do not care about your company. They do not care about your features. They do not care about your benefits or your product or your service. That is irrelevant to them. They do not care about this. So what do they care about? They only care about their specific needs. They care about solving their own problems. They care about getting the job done. They care about how your product or service can meet those needs, solve their problems, helping them get the job done and what it means to them. Look, there's a secret here, right? It's not only me that I'm telling you this information. This is your buyers. The buyers come into a survey and tell the salespeople how to improve sales experience according to the buyers. The top of the list is listen to my needs. It's not pushy, provides relevant information, respond to or give information in a timely manner, provide a range of options beyond his or her business offering, care about the success of my business or project, details the way he or she can help me succeed. Question: did you see in any way that they mention about your product or your service, how good they want your product or service to be? Did they say anything about your product or your company? Or they just tell you every single thing they want from themselves? Exactly, guys. So this is what I want you to know. Write this down. It's all about them. It's never about you. It's all about them. Okay? Now, moving on. Understanding your customer requires empathy. Now, I know a lot of people, right? When they listen to empathy, that you cannot visualize it. But let me tell you this. What if I tell you, right, this skill you can learn? Empathy is a skill. It's not a superhuman ability that, oh, you have empathy since you were born, then you have empathy. If you don't have it, then you don't have it. All right? Some people might be more reactive, but it is a trainable, transferable skill set. How many of you would like to learn that? Am I disconnected? I don't think I'm disconnected, right? I think I'm still looking at the chat. So if you want to learn that, I'll teach you how. Right? Empathy is a skill that can be picked up. All right. A lot of people has this misconception of empathy cannot be learned. Only people with sensing power, you can send other people, you can learn empathy. No. Everybody can learn empathy. Even I started off without empathy. And then I started to learn about empathy. Then I know how it works. All right. So empathy is the ability to see what they see, hear what they hear, and feel what they feel. Look, there's no part in empathy about understanding the other people. It's about seeing what they see, hearing what they hear, feel what they feel. And empathy is entirely about the other side perspective and what they see, and it's nothing to do with reality. Now, this is a big aha moment for you. Every single thing that they think right now about you, your product or service or company or the problem that they have is true. Is true. Whatever they think is true. This is where you mind blown a bit. All right. Whatever they think is true. They are never wrong. So don't need to prove them wrong. Right? You need to understand why they think is true. You get what I'm saying here? The reality can be they think like that is totally wrong. It's not good for them. That is the reality. But it has nothing to do with that. The empathy is about understanding why they think like that. All right? Correct. Everyone has their own reality. Everything is about their own perception. Now, this is very deep, guys. Do you want me to pull back up or you want me to continue downwards? Now, this you can just put aside, no problem. I'm just trying to tell you that everyone has their own opinion and their opinion is 100% correct, no matter the reality is correct or not. Let's say, if I say water is no taste, and then another fella say water always got this sand taste. Is he correct or is he wrong? He is definitely correct. Why did he say the water has sand taste inside of it, has the earthy kind of taste? Probably the area that you stay in, the water tastes like that. And that is why he say that. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to tell you here? That is why it's entirely about their perspective. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to put yourself in their shoes and experience their world through their eyes. All right. Now, guys, I want you guys to watch this video. I'm going to show you a short section of this video, right? And after this, you can see a link down there. Not a link. You go and search for the video. You go and click on the video. You see many times. All right. You watch it for many times. All right. Then you understand what is empathy. This is a video. Okay. I'm going to show you here. It's for a minute or so here. Yep, there's no audio, so you don't need to audio. No worries. You just see the words. Look at what they're trying to tell you. When you see the other people, what I want you to see is that when you look at the other people, do you think you know what is happening? The words come out after you saw it, right? That is actually what they feel at the moment. Would you have guessed that kind of feeling that they have inside of them? What is going on in their life right now? Right? Now, okay. Now, guys, this is empathy. So what I want you to do is to write this empathy, the human connection to patient care in your notepad right now. After this training, you can go and watch that, and then you go and favorite that video. There's also a couple of other videos more. That is by Cleveland, some kind of hospital. It's a community message about empathy. Watch that for 3, 4 times, 5, 6 times, then you start to understand what is empathy. All right? This is how I can teach you, all right? This is my way of learning. I'm sorry to say I'm a little bit lazy, so I like to use examples that immediately you can see how. Okay, the name, can you see at the bottom is empathy, the human connection to patient care. Search that name. Can you see that? Can you see the name down there, everyone? Empathy, the human connection to patient care. All right, good. Search that in YouTube. There's a video, and then continuation, right? When you see the video, there's a lot of other videos by the side, right? There's also other videos that show you empathy as well. All right. Now, that is the one surefire way that you can understand empathy, that you can learn empathy. So now I want to show you the fastest way that you can read your prospect's mind. Are you ready for this? All right, great. Great. So I'm going to keep this very interactive. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions because I want you guys to stay awake and stay with me, because this could be easily, right, one of the most empowering session that you're going to have in selling. Okay. So this is the fastest way for you to read your prospect mind, the before and after transformation. So what I want you to do is that imagine the version 1 and version 2.0, right? Imagine the scenario of your customer life is like before your product or service, before they use it, before they meet you, before they meet your product or service, and what they hope it will be like after that. Okay, remember, your product or service is just a vehicle where they want to go after that. So once you understand this, right, you can effectively communicate how your offer will move them from a painful before state to a desirable after state. Is this making sense, everyone? All right. Now here's it. So I'll need you to do this simple step before and after transformation exercise. All right. You need to list all these 4 down. I'm going to show you a table so you can take a screenshot of this. Let me explain it first. Have. Step 1 is have. What does your customer have or using before your product or service, and what do they have afterwards? The second one is feel. How does your customer feel about your product or service before your product or service meet them, and how do they feel afterwards about their life, about what their situation is, about what they are suffering right now, what they want to go, okay? How do they feel about that? And then above that, the third level is this, the average day. What is their average day like? What is their day in and day like? Okay, day in and day out, what they're doing every day to solve their problem, all right? To do something before your product or service. And what is it like afterwards? Okay, this is how you can see. And the status. Now, this is one type of thing that people don't go and focus, because this is huge, all right? This is not just about luxury, everyone, all right? It's about how they perceive themselves before your product or service and how they perceive themselves afterwards. Just like me, when I bought the watch, I feel like a different level. Now, you doesn't need to be luxury. I can show you exactly how you can actually feel different, all right? So next, I'm going to give you an example. So putting it to work for you is like this. You build a table like this, okay, with 3 columns and 4 rows, and then you put the have, feel, average day, and status all inside. And then you write the before and after. So right now, I'm going to use an example is that my target customer is small business owner with an outdated website, okay, 1 to 10 staff. Now what the product I'm selling is a website design service. Okay, so this is how I put it to work. before, they have an outdated website. They only have 1 to 2 leads a month, and they have little profit, or maybe breaking even, or they are making losses. So after they meet me with a new website design that I designed for them already, they have a good looking, high converting website. Every month, 10 to 20 leads increase, and they have increase in revenue. And before, how they feel? They feel worried, they feel frustrated, and they felt lost and left behind and almost giving up because it feels like nothing is working. And after that, how do they feel? They feel finally something is working. They feel relief, and they feel optimistic and inspired about future business. Wow, how different is that, right? When you talk about how they feel. And then on average day, okay, what is the day in and day out what they're doing? They probably are waiting and hoping for client because they don't have enough leads. They're probably cold calling and getting rejected. Hey, I don't want your product and service. Don't call me again. They're getting rejected. And they're meeting customers that waste their time. They go and meet customers maybe 3 times, 4 times, 5 times and waste their time. Don't close, all right? But after that, they have more leads, mean they're making meaningful conversation with clients day in and day out. They are meeting clients and discussing business, and probably making proposals. They're busy making proposals and strategy for clients, which is a good problem to have. And they're having productive meeting with them, okay, with the team. And the status, very important. Before they met you, they felt like an unsuccessful entrepreneur. They feel themselves, they are like a hard-working fool. Work, no profit. Work, but lose money. Why are you in business? Why am I in business? They're asking themselves that. And then they felt like they are a useless boss. And after they met you, they feel more like a business owner. They see themselves more like a business owner now. They see themselves as a smart entrepreneur. They say, haha, now everybody that get it working, I also can get it working already. So that's how they feel, you see. And they feel like a respected boss. So guys, are you all seeing this? How you can use this before and after transformation matrix and exercise to read your prospect mind? Can you see now how different you can actually look and take a peek into your prospect mind? Can you see that? Can you imagine yourself using this? How do you think this will help you in selling and understanding a prospect? I think when you start talking to them, immediately you think, oh, how they feel. What's their average day is like? No, how do they see themselves? You're talking in that terms already. This is what everybody is thinking. They're not thinking about your product. They're not thinking about your service. They're thinking about all these problems, right? What they have, what they feel, what's their average day like, day in and day out, what they perceive themselves as. This is every day they're thinking about this, right? So I know this is a hard exercise, but please do it for your business, right? You can use one product, one canvas, one product, one exercise, okay? Exactly, you get clarity to help your customer. When you talk to customer like this, right, immediately they feel one thing. Wow, it seems like you understand what is going through me right now. Do you know, right? Okay, I'm going to let you in on a little secret right now. Is that, write this down. The greatest feeling you can give to someone is the feeling of relief. R-E-L-I-E-F, relief. It's not the feeling of happiness. It's not the feeling of whatever excitement. It's the feeling of relief. When they know somebody understands them, they felt relief. And that is the best feeling that you can give to someone when you want to close a sale, because they're in a state of, wow, I got this problem, I cannot solve it. How every day they keep thinking of the problem, and then suddenly you come along, bro, sis, I got your back, I can solve this for you. Do you know how immediately they feel? Wow, finally I can let this problem go and I can focus on something else. You see how you can help your customer to feel like that? When you help them to feel like that immediately, right? My God, they're gonna give you the sale. You get what I mean? Okay, guys. Now I got another hack again. So as you know, I'm quite lazy, so I got another hack for you. So, who is ready for the hack? So because you want to find out also what people are talking, what the general public is talking about how they think or what they see about this problem or your product or service, right? Now it seems to me, you see, this one is all Vince's influencer. You see, every single time we do things, we think of the shortest, the path of least resistance to the result. And this is where I'm going to give you, all right? Here's it. This is the website that you can go. You can find out what question people are already asking about your industry, your product, your service, or your solution. It's called the answerthepublic.com. It's a paid one, but every single day, I think you can search for 1 to 2 times. So you can put in your keywords, and then they will show you this thing, right? The question that people ask. They got like prefix and suffix. What are people asking? What are people typing in the chat box? And when you saw all this, right, you see what is relevant to you right now and see what problem are people trying to solve. The train of thought is it. See what people is asking, what they're trying to solve. What question are they asking? What can you use as an answer, right, to the question that your prospect is already having? For example, you know how I can answer that digital marketing thing for the before and after transformation is because I go and look at this. People are saying, okay, my website is not converting. Everybody is how to make my website convert faster. No, things like that. Then when you go and tell your customer, right, now, you can talk something like this. Hey, John, you know what? A lot of people, right, is asking me how their website can convert faster. Are you facing this kind of problem, or do you want to know this as well? Obviously, they want to know, right? When you say it right, it becomes like you're the expert. You get what I mean? This helps you to build authority. You always want to two steps ahead of them. When you do that, right, immediately you gain authority. Immediately you gain trust. It seems like you're the expert because you are the only one that talks about it. And I can guarantee you that, right, in Malaysia, 99%, or I think in the world, 80% to 90% of the salespeople are not doing this. I can tell you that when you start using this, right, immediately you seem like an expert. You gain credibility. The way you talk to people is different already. So is this helpful, everyone? All right, great. Now we are 1 hour and 47 minutes in, and we still have 4 parts left to go. Are you still awake, everyone? The 4 parts will be very, very quite intense as well. Is this a very intense kind of training today? So are you starting to see very clear on how sales should be right now? What is selling essentially at the core? How I understand it? How different is this from whatever previously you thought about selling? Can you see right now how you don't have any fear anymore? I can tell you, I can feel that you don't have any fear anymore about selling. Immediately, it flips you 180 degrees. Immediately, next thing you meet the client, you know what to do already. It's very clear. So it's a very systematic, structured process that I have for you to train you on how to sell. All right? Exactly. I tell you, I'm going to be giving you the feeling of confidence as well, Wendy. All right. Now, next, we're going to move on to how to identify your product's real value. Now, this is why I say when a lot of people, they don't know how to identify the product's real value. And here inside, right, there is another hack as well that can immediately increase your selling skills almost 100-200%. Because I got another student that used this 2 days after finishing my class. She get a sale already. She is a copywriter. She don't know how to sell. Use this one simple hack alone, she get a sale because the customer understand where she's coming from. Right? So this is very important, okay? So, but here's the main thing that I want to tell you. The best way for you to know and understand what your product or service means to the customer is to be a customer to your own product or service. I cannot mention this enough that everybody, right, should be a customer to your own product and service. Then you will know the frustration that you go through. When I buy this, what is happening? What the customer is going through? By that only you can understand it. Can everybody promise me try to be a customer to your own product or service? Because a lot of times when we sell, right, we are not even a customer to our own product or service, right? Especially more expensive items. So always carry this mindset of, okay, I need to use my product and service, be the customer first, feel how the customer go through, all right? When you are your own client, when you are your own customer, then it's very, very easy for you to start understanding what values you bring, what are the frustrations you need to solve for the client before they actually buy your product. And to understand your product's real value, right, a lot of times I think you probably have seen this Maslow hierarchy of needs before, right? And there are these 4 levels in the pyramid. where the bottommost is the needs that must be met first, like the physiological needs, and after that, the safety, the belonging, love, and then the self-fulfillment, like self-actualization. How many of you can immediately understand what value does it mean to the buyer? If you understand type 2, if you don't understand type 1, when you see this, can you understand? Now, I start with the typing first, okay? I'm going to type 1 because I don't understand as well. 2 is understand, 1 is not understand. Oh, okay, good. There's some people that understand this Maslow hierarchy of needs. Immediately, you know how to present value. For me, I don't know how to present value with this. Do you want to hack with this? Immediately, there's no second guessing. You immediately know, right, what is valuable to businesses, what is valuable to consumer. No second guessing. Right? Now, this is it. This is the website. I want you to go. This does not belong to me. It belongs to a company called Bain & Company. Now, this is the B2B elements of value. What companies value, what companies thinks is important. The most bottom one is the thing that need to always fulfill. Then it goes all the way up. As it goes up the pyramid, the value is more significant. When you can achieve, all right? When you look at this chart, right, you can go to this website, take a screenshot, go to this website. I'm not going to go through everything, all right? When you look at this website, you will see a lot of things. Anyway, let me just show you. I'm just going to go to my website and see whether I can share or not. Bain & Company, okay. Let me share another screen of mine. New share. Okay, guys, can you see my screen right now? Type in yes, you can see. Look. All right, see. Is this clear, everyone? Do you need me to go up? Okay, I zoom it in. So look, when you click on this, right, when you go to this website, when you click on this, look, it will show you on the left-hand side definition, what is cost reduction. The definition is reduces cost for the customer organization. Example, they give you an example as well. Isn't it easy, guys? Every single thing you know about value, you can put it aside, use this and use this as your compass to present value. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this a quick hack? Save time, save money, save resources, save brain power. Okay, I tell you, I'm a very, very lazy person. I don't like to think about all these things. Immediately, you know, okay, I need to present this to the company. And the trick here is this, at any one time, if you can fulfill 6 values, your product and offer is very, very powerful. Is it helpful? Or Benny, you said save 5 years from now. I think this save 10 years. 5 years is a bit short. I use more. I discovered this and I was like, wow, I wish I knew this earlier, but they released very late. They released like in 2017. They only released this. All right. And they also have B2C element of value as well. If you go to B2C, let me check back. If you go to B2C, yes, there's also elements of value as well. Oh, not this. Oh, I don't have that. No problem. So I'll share back the screen. There's also B2C element of value. I'm going to show you the link. Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Now, this is the B2C element of value. Take this link down. Same thing. It's not as much things that you can see, but everything is inside there. Is less value than the businesses. As you can see, bottom there, right, there's a lot of value like functional elements. These are the elements you must fulfill first before you can go up the pyramid. So as you go up, if you can include all this value, let's say when you present your product or service, you tell about all this value, right, that is meaningful and relevant to your client, to your customer, then immediately you'll be different from the rest of the people who will keep talking about how good the company is, how good the product and service is, without talking the value that is relevant to the customer. Can you see how you can use this? Can you see how this can help you to save a lot of time? Right? Now you can see like save time, simplifies, people want things that can help them make money, reduces risk. I told you already, right? You see, every single thing I'm saying is all from this as well. Like organizers, things that help them to organize, help them to connect, give them sensory appeal, reduces cost, isn't it? Everybody is looking at this. Everybody likes to have this as a value. But this is the only chart right now that I want you to use, because the rest of the chart, even like, not to say they're not useful, it's just that it takes a lot of brain processing power to understand what is behind that. And this one gives you the direct meaning of what is behind that. Isn't it powerful? This is also based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Okay, now this is a super great hack for you. And I got another great hack. Another great hack. I'm going to blow your mind until you got nothing left in the brain to store your everything. Okay, I got another great hack for you to improve your skill almost immediately. Okay, now this is the fastest way to identify your product's value and immediately improve your selling skills. So get ready, guys. Yeah, it's called the forwards feature and benefit hack. You can Google right now. You cannot find this on the internet. You cannot find this in any other training. I come up with this, all right? The forward is which means, and so that. That's simple, which means and so that it will show you everything about the value of your product and service, how to identify them, and how to present to your customer. So I'm going to show you 3 simple steps of how you use this. So remember this, which means and so that. So even if you sell using features and benefit, you need to hack it, because right now a lot of people, they don't hack it. They use just as is, right? That means the pure feature, pure benefit, it won't matter to your client. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you use which means and so that, when you present, you're going to see wonders, okay? This can immediately help you to improve your selling skills. 3 easy steps. Step 1, make a list of all the features, which is what it is. Step 2, make a list of all the benefits, which is what it does. And step 3, make a list of all the benefits of the benefits, what it means to them. Can everyone do this? Is this very simple, this 3 steps? I'm going to show you an example. Now, this is an example. You want to make a table like this. So, example, I'm going to be selling a website design service, okay? Step 1, the feature. I'm going to write a feature down. Step 2, the benefit. I'm going to write the benefit down. I read out. This is what I do in step 2. I read out step 1 and I add this, which means or so that, behind that sentence. I'm going to show you what it means afterwards in just a minute, very quick. Step 3, benefit of the benefit. This is where the magic happens. This is where the money comes in, all right? This is where the customer understands, oh, nobody told me this before. Finally, you told me this. All right. This is where you get them stoked up. All right. Read out step 2 and add which means or so that. Okay. For example, all right, website design service. The feature could be I use WordPress CMS, which is a content management system which is commonly used to build the 70% of world website. Right. When I read that out, okay, John, I'm going to be using WordPress CMS, which is commonly used to build 70% of the world's website, which means it is the most trusted CMS. It is easy to use. It is easy to find a programmer who is proficient in it. Guys, come on, the magic is here. Pay attention. So that it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, and it is reliable like a Toyota, and you don't have to feel like being held hostage by agencies who insisted in custom coding or using a less used CMS, which costs 70% more. Are you guys seeing this? Can you see the hack? How easy is it for you to present the whole value to your customer? How beautiful is this thing? Which means and so that, only 2 simple words. You get every single thing portrayed to the client. It means everything to the client, isn't it? Doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Can anyone tell me what is the feeling that you get from this? What is the feeling you get? What is the feeling I'm trying to portray with this? I sell using emotion, you know, right now. So can you see how this improves your selling skills almost immediately? Did I just fulfill on my promise that you will get a skill up immediately right now? Right? Now, I know you guys are making a lot of notes right now, so I'm giving you some time. You just take a screenshot and put it down. This is, by the way, tomorrow you can get to use it already, immediately. You won't forget it. This is the way I created in such a way you don't even need to think about it. Every time when you talk something, right, you see, remember, not every time I talk about something, I always use which means so that. It's ingrained inside of me already. It's very, very easy. So whenever you tell, okay, this Tupperware is made out of whatever plastic. so that, right, when your baby drink from it, it doesn't cause them any defect. And when that doesn't come, which means you will have a better life as a parent. Why? You don't need to go to the hospital. Wow, isn't it easy? When you just add which means and so that, you don't want to know what the heck is? You can keep on adding, benefit upon benefit, doesn't matter. You want to add step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, doesn't matter. The brain will process it. The brain will understand it. How awesome is this guy? Right? I'm going to show you another one, right? I'm very stoked with this, okay? I'm going to show you another one. Dedicated server, all right? When you're doing website design, sometimes you need to use a dedicated server as opposed to a, what do you call that? Shared server, shared hosting, all right? Why? So I said, John, we're going to be using a dedicated server to host your website so that your website will have maximum uptime and 2 times better stability. Which means wherever you advertise a crazy offer and you get thousands of people clicking on your website, it will still be responding and loading smoothly as though one person is using it. And this will increase conversion and checkout rate by 50%. You see, I use another word, so that you get the sales flowing into your bank. How you help them to picture this is a technique called future pacing. I help them to see using which means and so that as well, the benefit that they will get. Is this cool or awesome, guys? All right. So here's the thing, you see. Right. So here's the thing, you see. If I go back, right, if I just say this, John, by the way, a lot of people stop at step 2, all right? John, I'm going to be using a dedicated server so that your website will have maximum uptime and 2 times better stability. Can you see what it means? Nobody can understand what it means, right? That is the feature and benefit. The benefit is maximum uptime. Benefit is 2 times better stability. But the customer doesn't understand what it means to me. You see, you need to let them see what it means to them, all right? Guys, you think this is awesome? Wait until you see the MQM method of handling objection. You're going to be mind blown again, all right? So, by the way, right, the beginner, they always sell using feature. The average salesperson sell using benefit. And right now, I just made all of you a pro mode salesperson, okay? A pro mode, and you're going to be proud of this, okay? Because you are going to be selling the way that people buy. Nobody else is going to be using this. Nobody is going to explain things that matters to other clients beside every single one of you that attended this training, all right? Type 1 if you're happy with this. Type 1 into the chat box if you're really happy with this. Okay, so putting it to work for you, when and where to use this information. Very simple, during presentation, during negotiation, telling a story about the success of your customer had with your product. It's okay, just say which means and so that, which means and so that, immediately you can present value. During any conversation with client, prove a point when you're addressing their concerns or objection. In your sales copy, landing page or website, doesn't matter. You just use that, people will understand, which means and so that, right? In your video sales message as well, when you're trying to sell something, when you're trying to talk something, it's okay, use it. You want to make people understand what values it means to them. So use these forwards, okay? Oh, we're 2 hours and 3 minutes in, and we got 3 sections left. I'm really, really excited as well. So how many of you are still staying here with me? Is every single one still here? Are you stoked and still wanted to learn more? Your brain still got space not? If no space, right, then we can continue some other time. Is everyone still having some space inside? No, by the way, guys, is this very easy for you to understand? Do you see how I see sales? Is it very hard for you to do, or is it easy for you to do? Now, so far so good, right? Now that is my point. All right. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to practice immediately. I was thinking this, before I come to this webinar presentation, I was thinking, oh, how can I put 30,000 hours, my 8 years of experience, compress into something, right? And condense and repack it into something that you can immediately use tomorrow and see result. And this is it. Okay, this is it. There's nothing better than this. Okay, if there is also, there will be update of new content. Okay, every time I think of new hack, I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, this is my brain and how it come to work. Okay, I always think of hack when just because I'm lazy. I'm sorry to say I'm lazy. All right, so The number five thing you need to have is understand your competitors. All right. So I want to share this quote with you from Sun Tzu. Right. This is a quote I like very much. I think it's very relevant to you because you need to understand about your competitors. Now, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will be defeated in every single battle. Is this making sense, everyone? A lot of people don't even care about their competitors, don't even know about their competitors. The thing is that I'm not asking you to care. I'm asking you to find out about them so that you have information to make informed decision. Yes, that is very, very important, Joanne. Right? So who are your competitors? This is the question you must ask. Then a lot of people, this is the most common answer, which is the most common is a competing product or a service from another company. However, this is how I define a competitor. Anything that can prevent the customer from buying your product or service is your competitor. Are you getting this, everyone? Write this down. Anything that can prevent the customer from buying your product or service is your competitor. All right? Anything at all. It doesn't matter it's alive or not. If it's prevent from your customer from buying, it's a competitor. All right? So then you need to ask yourself this question. What is preventing your customer from buying? So to answer this question, you have another question to answer it. What other options do they have to solve this problem? So when you ask yourself this, you're looking at other things. Now in this information age, right, this option, right, always come out one. Everywhere also have. Okay, it's called this, do it yourself, because it's cheaper, it's a workaround, it's a temporary solution. Immediately I can have it. A lot of how-to guides from YouTube, from how to write. Now, this is it. Okay, this is your competitor. All right, if you never know about this before, it's time for you to pay attention. A lot of time when you lose sales, it's not to direct competitors. It is to this. People have a workaround. Like me, when I was having trouble with the internet, do you know I go and buy the cable and I set up myself just to have another internet over there at my balcony so that I can have a backup line? I do it myself. If I go and hire somebody else, right, it's going to cost me 800. But because I know all this how to, right, I go and solve it. But if the people that can actually show me what's the difference, okay, contrast it to me, then and only then I will use some other people's services, right? So how to overcome this? Very simple. You show the actual effort required, plus the cost they never put into consideration, plus the time needed, plus the result quality, plus you need to question their logic. Questioning their logic don't mean you go and bash them, it means like, all right, so now can you see, right, doing this, it actually costs you more than you doing it yourself? No, when you do this yourself, can you see that it's actually costing you more than we do it for you? In the end, you save up 30% if you pay us right now, this kind of amount. Now that is questioning the logic. Can you see it? Right? Because sometimes, people come to you, they don't know what problem they're having. They just know they want to solve it. They have this idea of solving the solution, but if you can present it in such a way, then you can overcome it. All right. Now, the next one is this: do nothing. This is status quo. They always wait until they're painful enough. Right? When it's not painful, they don't do anything, just like the guy sleeping over there. So how do you want to overcome this? This is human behavior anyway, because it is very, very easy to stay in a comfort mode, all right, in a comfort zone. So how do you want to overcome this? First, you list out all the consequences of doing nothing and what they risk to lose if they don't take action. Remember, you have to build pain. Okay, urgency is always built on pain. You want to get people out of status quo, you must always list out the consequences. And I'm going to show you what it means, but I tell you right now, later I have some part that I'm going to show you this. When you highlight the pain, when you want to build urgency, a lot of people build on pain by talking about, okay, it's going to be taking more time, it's going to lose more money, cost more. Those cannot build pain. You know what can build pain? Write this down. It's called negative impact. Negative impact. Somebody is writing on the pad again, I think. It's called negative impact. So what does negative impact means? You need to show them what are the consequences of not taking action. That is negative impact. That is how you build pain. That is the secret to building pain. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think, okay, cost more time, cost more money. That is pain. No, people don't feel like that. It's all about the consequences of inaction, not taking action. I think I'm going to reshare this because I saw somebody doing this. Just give me a moment. I'm going to reshare this again. Everyone following? Everyone good? Show me thumbs up. Great. Everyone have a good moment, yeah? After this, you cannot say you cannot sell. Oh, let me share this again. Okay. Now, let's move on. So what other things are preventing your customer from buying? So ask yourself this question. Who are your main competitors? So how to answer this? Very simple. Step one, you make a list of your competitors and what they offer, right? And here is what you need to include. Price. I separate into three main categories so that, because these are the most common one that people use, so you can use it to differentiate yourself. What is the total price? Not only the paying price, what is the total price? Total perceived value, total cost of ownership, the payment option, the terms, the delivery cost. All this can be your differentiation. All this can be where they win or where you win, all right? So this is what you need to look into. And then service. In terms of speed of delivery, problem solving, are they flexible in problem solving or not? The customer support, the response time, the training, the warranty, the guarantee, the backup product. Okay, do you have, like, some people, they repair car. I say, you come and repair car at my place, I got backup car for you. Anytime you put down a car, you can take my car, go. Do you think that will help them to close more sales? Of course, obviously. But how many people is using that? Not many, because they haven't met Aaron Chong yet. The one that met Aaron Chong, they know already, okay, like you guys now, okay? And then also like personalization. Let me bring up the chat back again. How can I bring up the chat back again? Right here. Okay, now personalization and humanization, this is very huge. A lot of time when you give service, right, you try to personalize it and make it human. A lot of time, have anyone tried to call? Okay, if anyone is working in Maxis, I'm sorry to mention this. Has anyone called Maxis before? How do you think their humanization is? They always put their trouble, or we cannot do this because it's company policy, this and that, try to push everything back, right? Now that is not very personalized, right? I cannot remember a company which has very, very good personalization, but I do remember this. I think it was SoCar, if I'm not remember. If it was Big Pay, I think it was Big Pay that has very, very good personalization and humanization. Make sure that speaking to another human being. Don't treat your customer like a robot. Treat them like a human being, and then you will see you can differentiate yourself. A lot of people don't do this. When you differentiate, right, it will be good. Okay, let me do something. I'll disable the annotate or disable attendees. Okay, good. All right. Now, so let me continue. Second is flexibility. The last two is flexibility and availability. It's SoCar or Big Pay. If I remember correctly, it's either SoCar or Big Pay. There's very good humanization, right? When you call them, it's like they do it in a service, right? They talk to you really like a human one. You can feel it one, all right? So you can use that as your differentiation as well, right? See if they win in this. If they not win, you go and do it first. Anyone that go and do it right is very, very good, okay? That's why, people can get people to come back. And it's always depend on human, because this is a human thing. So you must train your people to be able to do it as well. Flexibility and availability. This is two very huge. If you can make stock available almost immediately, people will pay for that. And flexibility in terms of how you deal with problem, in terms of how flexible you can be, how far you can stretch the bridge before it breaks. If you get what I mean, okay? How far you can stretch a bridge before the bridge go and break, right? So the relationship, how far can you go with the customer? You can tell them upfront, no problem. Okay, we can accommodate this, and this. Just as long as you don't do this, it's okay already. Like me, I tell you my flexibility. You can do every single thing you want. You cannot violate the two rules, correct? That's it. So I'm flexible in terms of that. How flexible are you? All right, and you can look at quality in terms of feature, type of material, usable lifetime, ease of use. Does it solve any other frustration? Is it require any third or fourth or fifth or sixth step to use it? And how are you solving that third, fourth, fifth step? All right. So think about, in terms of, after the customer buy your product, what other frustrations do they have? Okay, you solve it for them. You can use it as your differentiation as well. All right. You see whether your competition is doing that as well. So step two, You write it down in a table, you create a table, and then you compare to find out where you stand. You write down everything that you see, all the features ready here. Okay, everything you need to include. You write down yourself and the competitor. List out maybe 5 to 6, 10 if you can, and see where you stand. And then you know what to focus on. If nobody is taking over one particular part, you go and take over, and then you can win. Okay. Now the pro tip is this: if you can't find out, very simple, call your competitor and ask. Just pretend like a customer. Nobody is going to scold you. When you call the customer service, they're going to tell you everything. You pretend like you want to buy, okay? And you pretend you never heard this from me. And then you can monitor their social media sites and watch their comments. The comments are very powerful. A lot of people are voicing out, all right? And then you can subscribe to their newsletter to know how they're positioning the new product, to know what new things are coming up, so that you can actually follow and use that to your advantage, right? Now, everyone following me? Is everyone still good here? Okay, good. Now, the step 3 is this. You need to list down all other possible reasons that will stop your prospect from buying. So what it means is this. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Okay, these are all the objections. Recall back what you tell people when you don't want to buy. Make a list of this. Recall back what you tell people when you don't want to buy. These are most probably the objections that you're going to be getting as well. And then you recall back what others tell you when they don't want to buy. When you serve other people, when they tell you something they don't want to buy, they give all sorts of reasons. Record all that down, okay? And then you're going to use it afterwards. I tell you how to use it, all right? You must, from now onwards, make a list of this, okay? It's a list of all possible reasons that will stop your prospect from buying, okay? I see the chat. Benny is missing step 2. Okay, we go back a bit, all right, so that everyone get it. All right, can you take a screenshot right now, Benny? All right, so everyone done? Is everyone done? Can you take a screenshot as fast as possible? All right. Now, okay. So, and usually, right, all these possible reasons falls within these 6 basic categories. There's no other things, only six basic ones. These are no need, no desire, no money, no hurry. No hurry, there's no urgency. I don't want to take action now, okay? There's no hurry. No authority to make decision. They're going to blame, okay, I need to ask my wife. I need to ask my board member. I need to ask my manager. These are no authority, okay? And then no trust and real concern. Split them out into this category so that when this fall in, you know how to handle it, okay? With a method that I'm going to teach you at the end of this, all right? And that's all. So when you do this ready, all this exercise, you get ready for the next 1-2 session, and then you're going to know exactly how to use this information. All right. So now we are at the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the number 6, the number 7 section. All right. One more, and we're going to be ending, and I hope to end this before 12. So the number 6 thing you need is an irresistible value proposition. Now, an offer, right? Vince can teach you how to make an offer already, okay? So in order for you to present something, before you even get to present your offer, you must have a irresistible value proposition. When people see already, oh, I want to talk to this guy because of this. All right, this is the irresistible value proposition. You must let other people know. So what is it? So let's look what is not a value proposition first. A value proposition is not an elevator pitch. For example, we help small businesses who are struggling to sell their products online to get more customers. That is an elevator pitch, and value proposition is not that. A value proposition is also not a unique selling point. Means like, no, we guarantee service in 4 hours or your money back. We specialize in building websites for a restaurant. It's not that, okay? You specialize in one thing that differentiates yourself. That is a USP. Value proposition is not that. And a lot of people are going to teach you to do this. The weak and boring way to present your value proposition is this. We have the most advanced technology in the market. I think some of you are guilty of this before. I was guilty as well. Fully computerized system, okay, forget it. I also lost me there already. We offer one-stop solution for all your photography needs. Sounds familiar? We specialize in professional, responsive, and customized website design. What the hell does this even mean? I don't see any value for me. I also don't know what professional means. Everybody is saying professional. We offer cost-effective, scalable, reliable design. What is cost-effective? Can you tell me what is cost-effective? All right. We design brochures, websites, and packaging materials. And this is something that I found out from my wall of the social media. See what people do. Everybody is doing this, the same thing. Website design, they put a price, and then down there they put full service digital marketing agency. Digital marketing, social media campaign, social media management, mobile marketing solution. You can't even see any value in it for me. Yes, I know you do these things. These are your features. So it doesn't give me any reason to choose you, right? Now, that is 99% of the market is doing. So when you learn my way, you're immediately going to do it differently. Okay, this is a hack for you. There is a script for you as well. All right, so you don't need to think a lot. I just need you to fill in the blanks and then boom, you can go already. So what is an irresistible value proposition? It is a clear statement of tangible or intangible results a customer gets or able to visualize from using your product or service and focuses on the outcome. Is everybody getting this? Right? So it's a clear statement of tangible benefit or intangible. For that matter of fact, some cannot be tangible one, right? Results a customer get and able to visualize from using a product or service and focuses on the outcome. So here is the formula. Are you ready for the formula, guys? It's very, very simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps only. Ready? Now this is going to blow your mind again. It's going to be very simple for you as well. All right. Now here's the formula. It is equals to, you put it in the whole statement as target customer plus the driving force plus the movement plus the specific metric. Sometimes you need to add the proof. Sometimes you don't need to. The 4 is most important, the 4 main one. And that's it, the irresistible value proposition. And what are those things? Target customers. You can put like retailers, bank, graphic designer, sales manager, VP of sales. Those are the target customer, their profession. You name them out. Driving force are value. What decision makers and customer really care about in their own language. Remember, I showed you the Bain and Company chart. Use them here. All right. Vivian said go one slide back. Okay. Here? Is it this slide? Okay. Are you done? You done? Everyone done? Okay, good. Now, okay. Driving force. Remember the Bain and Company chart? So use that here in this part, okay? The irresistible value proposition as value, all right? Movement, words that shows progress. I'm going to show you examples, so don't worry about it. You can take screenshot as well. Specific metrics are like time frame, amount, percentage, how many times, or industry statistic. For a matter of fact, if you don't have any specific metrics to show to them, right, as a proof, then you can use industry statistic. It doesn't matter as long as you show something. I'm going to show you how it works. And proof, result of past similar customer to demonstrate your capability. This entire thing is the value proposition. So let me show you something that you shouldn't use first. All right, take a screenshot of this. I'm not going to read through all of this, but avoid using all these buzzwords. Cutting edge, best technology, innovative, powerful benefits, state of the art. What does that even mean? You lost me there already, state of the art. Industry leader. I don't care if you're industry leader or not, right? Who cares? Nobody cares, right? So stop using all these buzzwords. All right, you're not allowed to use this because this one doesn't represent anything to your buyers when you're presenting a value proposition to them. Now, examples of driving force. You can take a picture of this. Basically, it's something that I take out from the Bain and Company value as well. Some I included on my own. Take a picture of this and then you can use the Bain and Company, the value chart. All right, the elements of value is the same thing, right? The next one is very important. Example of movement words. If you don't understand this, you can go Google as well. So words like that shows progress from A to B, increase, cut, improve, save, accelerate. I think you get what I mean, right? Enhance, strengthen, squeeze, reduce, free up. All these are movement words. Words that show, you move from one part to another part. That is movement words. And to put it to work for you, this is the script. You can change it, but this is the most basic script. I don't recommend you stick with this. I recommend you to change it to your own script, right? Make it more elaborate a bit, but make it simple, right? Use your own language. So how it works is this. The script is that we help blank, which you insert the target customer, blank movement, their blank, the driving force, the value you insert by blank, you insert the specific metric, one of our client, blank, the proof. Can everyone do this? Is this simple enough? Just fill in the blanks with everything that I showed you. Right, now I'm going to make it even simpler for you. I'm going to show you examples. So you can just copy and paste. For example, I'm doing a digital marketing agency, all right? I'm giving digital marketing services. I can say something like this. We help e-commerce retailers increase their sales conversion rate up to 60% and the average cart value by 20%, and at the same time, reduce refund rate by 35%. Guys, look. All right, I see somebody missing the earlier slides. Which slides are you guys missing? The metrics? I'll move back a little bit, no problem, because I want it to be, you get everything inside. I haven't mentioned the metric yet. The metric is where I'm going to mention in this example. The metric is not there. The metric is something that you can use to show specifically how you help to increase, which is metric. The 20%, 60%, 35%, these are metric. You get it? You see how different is this from the rest of the way that people present? When I hear this, right, do you think the customer when listen, wow, I get curious, how you increase conversion by 60%? At the same time, you get their attention. They immediately curious, they want to ask you. So you're not selling to them anymore. They're going to sell themselves to you. Hey, can you tell me how you increase 60%? You can help me. I really can help me. That is how you get your customer sell themselves to you. Is it amazing? All right. Now, guys, I got one more trick for you to make your customers sell themselves to you. Remind me at the end if I don't tell you, okay? Remind me at the end. I'm going to finish this first, right? Now, for other examples, like web design, we help restaurant and cafe owners increase their conversion rate of visitors on their website to become a buying buyer by 30%. Isn't it easy? Easy, right? So everyday language. Even if on web design, right, when your prospect don't understand, they lack understanding, they're very illiterate a bit, maybe they don't understand good English. So you can use your everyday language or turn your driving force, the value, into everyday language. Means, you see, we help small businesses, the same thing, web designer, I show you here. We help small business owners below 15 staff increase the number of people who leave an inquiry of interest on their website by 30%, so that, you see, I use the word here, so that their best sales staff will have running lists of hot prospects to call and bring in revenue without spending additional hours on prospecting. Can you see immediately the value here for your client? I can see this immediately. Okay, I understand what you do. So this is how you present value, right? This is your irresistible value proposition. People will come to you because of this. They immediately understand. Is this helpful, everyone? Do you need more example? I still got 1 to 2 more examples here. If you don't need this, we'll skip through this. Ayo, why everyone? You want more example again? Okay. Now here, sales training. For example, I'm doing sales training. I help entrepreneurs, freelancers, and people that have to do sales. I be very inclusive one, all right? I'm very greedy. Improve their sales closing rate and grow their income. One of my students has turned 3 times more prospect into paying customer, making him extra 2 times monthly income. And at the same time, he eliminated all difficult customer. That's a 15 times return of what he has invested to learn. Can you clearly see how I presented the value? From something that's intangible, such as sales training, I presented in a very tangible way. Immediately, the brains know what to compare, what to see. Right? Easy, not? Same thing. I mean, you need to know what your value is. Anything you can present is an irresistible value proposition. This is just a framework for you to follow, okay, Ben? Now, another one, product launch consultant. Some more you cannot imagine. This one, even you cannot imagine what the value is. But I can present it like this, all right? I help technology companies who are launching an important new product into the marketplace, and they need it to be successful to achieve their sales forecast. Where I help my clients is in the conflict and disagreement between marketing and sales. As a result, right, they are able to more easily meet projected sales goal and drastically shorten time to profit. Isn't it amazing? Easy, not? All right. So you present the value that is meaningful to the client, the driving force, every single thing. It's super easy. Now, for those of you that keep asking me question, okay, how about real estate selling like an apartment? All right. You need to know what is valuable to your customer. Very easy. Some people buy the apartment, right? For example, I'm going to do a live case study here. This is very, very interesting, right? For example, some people like it because of the view. All right. Some people, let's say I help property owners. I help property owners who just newly bought an apartment and wanted to rent it out at the highest possible rent rate or yield. Okay. So that I get them the customers, I get them everything done without headache. They don't need to lift a single finger. I get them the customer, I get the contract done, I get it decorated as well, and I get them the highest yield, and I also get them to pay rent every single month. Maybe it's something like that, all right? So you think of in terms of the value that matters to your client. Why some people struggle to rent out the place? Because I feel insecure, because I feel, remember the chart that I show you, the before and after transformation. Think about how they feel, think about their status. You can include them inside here as well. Can you see that? Because I'm not in real estate, so I'm just trying to pull things out of the air right now. Okay, Huyen, does that answer your question? And Ben, you asked about what about when you're trying to sell food or consumable products? Okay, when you sell food, if you're selling like one to your consumer, that means if you're going to be selling in very retail type of environment, then the people that sell to you, that helps you to sell, they must understand this all. Or you can put this in your website. So who are you targeting? Are you presenting to people who want to buy in bulk, or are you presenting to people who want to buy as consumer, end user, right? Two different things. You must say two different things. You can also put it on your packaging. You can put it on your brochure. You can put it on your advertisement. No problem. It's what you're trying to do is to help people understand what it means to them. It's all about them, remember? It's not about you. You want to help them to understand the meaning. You're not presenting information. You're helping the customer to understand the information that you present. You get what I'm saying here? All right, so let's move on. Now I'm going to give you some pro tip about value. Here's the thing. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. This is by Warren Buffett, okay? And price is always determined by seller, but value is determined by buyer, okay? Value is always determined by buyer. And when the perceived value exceeds price, the customer will buy. Now, you need to always over communicate value, all right? And that is whatever that I'm doing right now. I'm helping you to understand what is value and help you to over communicate it so that people immediately can see, okay, this is what matters to me, right? You want to make them think, oh, this is right for me, right? Now, this is the biggest thing, guys. You need, if all else you forget, remember this. This will help you in sales forever. Progress defines value. Contrast reveals value. What it means is this. When you show people progress, all right, from one part to one part, you help them to define the value. From A to B, you help them to define the value. And when you want to reveal the value to them, you use contrast, means you compare to something else. You compare learning this, okay, a $1,000 course to a $30,000 degree. That is contrast. Help them to make meaning. Don't just give them, this is the price, this is what you get. No, you give them the price, the product, the offer, and then also give them the meaning. Help them to give them the contrast to reveal the value. Get this, everyone? That is what I mean by contrast, reveal value. Always use this, contrast, reveal value, okay? Now, we're going to go to the last part, the most exciting part. This is where you close the sale, okay? This is where all the action happens. And the first part is all you preparing it, right? You need to use a trust-building selling process, all right? Now, what is a process? A process is an input, process, output, and a process is a series of activities that convert input to an output, and it can be duplicated, right? So I'm going to skip through this. What is the difference between sales process and selling process? Okay, I have an example of how you want to make your customers sell themselves to you. Okay, make your customers sell themselves to you. Let me finish this. I'll tell you that. Okay, so what is the difference between sales process and selling process? Sales process I separate into two so that you don't confuse. Sales process is a business process. It's a roadmap of an ideal journey the buyer and the seller go on together. It's the outcome. The sales process is a happy customer. And the selling process is this. It's a series of to-do that is performed during the time with the customer. When you meet the customer, that is the time when you do a selling process. It is part of the sales process. The outcome of the selling process is this. The customer best decision. All right? The customer best decision is the outcome of the selling process when you go through it. So, however, in the market right now, right, this is the most used selling process. Yes, I will teach you how to handle objection of customers as well. All right. And you're going to love that, Vivian. Okay. We're going to love that. Immediately you can become a pro already. All right. So this is the 3-step selling process that everyone else is using. Okay. 3-step selling process. All right. Including me last time. All right. You may be familiar with this. It's called the step 1, show up. Step 2, throw up. Step 3, hope. The show up means you show up to customer, you throw up all the features and benefit, and then the step 3, you hope, please, please buy from me, please, please, please. All right. This is the process that everybody is using, and you're not going to be using this anymore. Okay. And this is how it looks like if it's in a situation where you go and court a woman, when let's say you want to go into a relationship, you want to get married. This is how it looks like. Okay. The show up and hope. A guy walks into a bar, saw the girl, and then straight away don't know her, go up to her and tell, hey, I'm John. I'm an engineer. I'm very smart. I have the best looking pair of eyes. I have muscles. I exercise every day. I have a car. I have a house. Will you marry me, please? Please, please. What do you think the girl will think? You see, look, the secret is this. Every single one of you, every single one of human being, they don't do this inside a relationship. You never do this. But yet, right, in selling, you keep on doing this. Can you see the irony here? Everybody doesn't do this in any courtship, any relationship, but they do it in selling. Why? Right? You see? Now, people, of course, will get flabbergasted. They will think, they stone already. They don't know how to give you that because nobody is going to get married immediately, right? You must have step by step, right? So that is why you need a step-by-step selling process, not the show up, throw up, and hope. So don't use that anymore, all right? Now, I'm going to show you. The selling process that I'm going to be teaching you is this. The sales process you can see here is on the green color side, where there's marketing, prospecting, selling, onboarding, delivering results, and growing. And then the selling process is this part. You can see the white color highlight one. Selling process is open, diagnose, prescribe, close, follow through. And the managed objection is on the side. Now, you may be asking me right now, hey, Aaron, why some other people teach selling process? The managed objection is one of the process inside the step, but you put it at the side. Here's the thing. Do you think that the customer will give you time, say, okay, wait until this section, then I give you objection? Do you think the customer will do that? No, right? Customer will give you objection throughout the way. It doesn't matter. It's up to them. So that is why you need to handle objection all along the selling process. You get what I'm saying? And this is a 6-step trust building selling process. So there are a few rules I need you to follow with this. One, when you sell using this selling process, right? If you're meeting in person or even on a video, make sure you have a pen and notepad to make people feel you're paying attention. Don't type. When you type, people feel like you're losing focus. Write things down. When you listen to them, right? A lot of people, when they teach, when you communicate, you must give eye contact, right? Actually, eye contact doesn't mean you pay attention. It makes people think one thing, what are you looking at? Is something wrong with my face? Wow, you seem very intimidating. When you give eye contact, it's like that. So when you listen to somebody, right, when they talk, you write down. You look down to your notepad and write down, right? People will feel that you pay attention. This is a hack, okay? Remember this. And your job is to be a doctor and diagnose the problem, right? You need to be a doctor. And do not quote a price or prescribe a solution without understanding the real problem. You say, Aaron, then they ask price how? Okay, I teach you how to settle that very easy. You can say to customer, John, here's the thing. I can give you a price right now, and that price right doesn't make sense to you. You will think it's expensive for sure. All right. Here's the thing. I don't want to just give you a price without knowing whether or not I can solve the problem for you. So would it be okay if we find out more first before I give you the price, or you would really want to know? I can give you a range, no problem, but it may be less than that. So are you okay? Very simple, you see? You just direct it like that. Can you see how this works for you? Okay, everyone? Now, and then you always justify the price. Contrast it against something. Possible results. Remember, I said contrast real value. The possible result, the opportunity cost, the cost of not fixing the problem, the cost of not doing anything, the cost of to replace, actual cost of doing it themselves. You show them so they have something to anchor. Remember anchoring effect. People need a piece of information so that it precedes the rest of the information. More expensive or more cheap, it depends on the anchor. So give the anchor to them as well. Is that okay? All right, that's the rules for this. And last one, you need to make it like a normal conversation. All right, talk normally. Don't go out of your way to become like, oh, I'm selling something. No need. Just talk like you're talking to a friend. Like I'm talking to you right now. All right, I'm not even like presenting like a speaker. Right, I'm talking to you like having a chit chat. Now this is how you want it to be. Right. And then tips for prospecting, all right? Because I couldn't teach you prospecting right here, right now. There's a lot of ways for you to prospect. Maybe sometime in the future, I can teach you prospecting as well. So here's the thing. You need to fill up your meeting list so that you don't feel needy. And you need to sell the reason the customer need meet with you, not your product or service. A lot of time when people prospect, right, they think, oh, I need to sell the product or service. Wrong. You need to sell the reason they meet with you, not your product or service. Means talk about the problem. Talk about, are they suffering this? How can you solve it? Probably you can help. That's it. Sell the reason they need to meet with you, okay? You offer relevant insights and information that helps them. And remember this, curiosity is key. Always make them curious, and you need to script this out, okay? A lot of people say don't need script. Gone case, I can tell you. So script this out. See what's working and script this out, okay? Now we go into the whole selling process. All right, in the open, when you meet the client, this is where after you get the leads, either from digital marketing, you get the ads insight, and then you get the other one that you cold call already. So this is where directly you meet the client, or face-to-face, or on a call, or on text message. This is where you do the opening, right? So on the opening the conversation, you got to keep it short and simple. You got to build a little rapport. You don't need to say like, talk about father, mother story, don't need. You can say something like, hi, how have you been? And by the way, right, if you use how have you been, you are 30 to 40% more likely to get a response and close a sale, comparing to how are you. And it has been proven because people have done research on this, right? They do research on about like 90,000 calls. How have you been proved to work better, right? And then ask about the day. How has your day been? How has your week been? That's it. Build that little rapport because people no time to talk about other stories. You come in, you tell me what you want. Tell me how you can help me. If cannot, go away, please. That's what people is thinking, okay? How have you been? So how have you been is like this psychological thing. You think, you seem like know me, but you don't kind of know me. Then people are curious. Have you met before? That is where you get their attention. Is curious already. Then you can start talking to them. All right. These are all psychological. I just condense it into very practical things that you can actually do. So, and then in the open stage, you will set the agenda as well. This is a lot of people don't set agenda. So when you set agenda, right, you need to remember, you need to set expectation. What is going to happen in this meeting? Remember that I told you that if you want to build trust, you need to allow them to visualize the process. This is where you allow them to visualize the process. What is going to happen in your meeting? What will be discussed? How long it will going to take? Are you going to waste my time or not? Right? Are you going to end on time? What if you don't end on time? Right? You help them to visualize that. So you wait for an okay or good to move forward. And then you're going to diagnose. In the diagnose stage, right, you need to understand why they decided to meet if they call you first. All right? So you understand about their situation, you understand about their motivation to meet. All right. If you meet the customer first, then you try to understand their business first. Normally you can find all this information online, but you can confirm the information with them. All right. Make sure that they know what you know. All right. It's not enough for you to know what you know. It's necessary for them to also know that you know this and you confirm with them. You get what I'm saying? So you ask about their product service, you know the pricing, ask about information that you cannot get otherwise online. Right? Why the customer buy, how they make decisions, the decision makers. All right. And then following up in the diagnose stage, you're going to find, this is where the magic happens. Find and understand their problems. A lot of time when you hear people teach you about sales, they're going to talk, hey, salespeople, they must be problem solvers. Correct to a certain point. Today's world, from 2017 until now and onwards, internet has gone so much advanced, right? That people literally can find information and they come with you. Sometimes they don't know about their own problem. They can't define clearly. So your job as a closer is to help people find their problems as well. This is where the money is. It's not about solving problems. Remember, I told you the urgency is not built on solution. It's not built on the after state. It's built on pain. It's not built on pleasure. Now, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. You build upon pain. Okay. You find their pain. So you find out about what issues they're facing currently, what they're trying to solve. You Also look at the main challenge, find out about, give some example of root cause for them, and then you show, okay, some of my other customer is having A, B, and C. Are you facing any of this? Now you can give an example like that, all right? So, and then you must make the problems heard. Now, this is the goal here. A lot of time people find problem, show problem, but they don't make the problem heard. How? You must make it painful. You remember or not, if you go and cut out the wound, right? So what must you do? This is exactly like you take the salt, right? You sprinkle on the wound a bit. So let it sit on the wound and pain. This is what must you do, right? It sounds unethical, but here's the thing. This is necessary for them to move forward, because if they're not in pain, right, they won't move forward, then you're not able to help them. Actually, you're doing them a more disservice like that, all right? In order to help them, you have to make them painful. If not, they won't move forward, okay? And then, so you show them the cost of not fixing the problem. You show them spending and return of investment, all right? You show them how long they're facing the problem, all right? And you show them the negative impact. What are the business areas affected? Ask them about that. When you ask the question, you will direct the mind. Okay, now I can see I will face something like this. What are the negative impacts? Write these down. Negative impacts, very important. And also you want to uncover their wants and goals. Where do they want to grow their business in the next 12 months? Know the short-term goal, long-term goals. What are the impacts of reaching the goal? When they reach already, what will happen? What difference will it make if they reach the goals? You know, top priority. You want to uncover the responsibility as well. Why didn't fix the problem yet on their own? Do they have a timeline to fix the problem? Okay, when they have responsibility, then you can sell to them. If they don't own the responsibility, it means that if they don't tell you anything about this, means they don't want to solve the problem. Remember, their desire to solve the problem, that is one of the main buying reasons. Okay, so you need to find out about that as well. Now, in this diagnose stage, the most important thing is this. I want to show you the most powerful closing tool. Are you ready to learn about this? Once you learn this right, you can change your life forever, because Malaysia, none of the education system is going to teach you this. All right? This alone, I can tell you, is probably going to worth every single cent that you're going to make from now onwards. All right? It's called the 3-level questions. And questions are the most powerful closing tool, okay? The 3-level questions. People say you have a lot of questions to ask, like situation questions, spin question, whatever. There's a lot of methodologies, but the thing is that you need to know how the brains reveal decision. It reveals decision like one piece at a time. And this is why this is designed to be in such a way that it's a 3-level question. So what is it? First level, be fast, right? You ask questions about their behaviors that affects their situation and thoughts. The first time you meet, if you ask about the impact, right, then, hey, who are you to ask me that question? You cannot, right? So you ask about that, right? And then second level, you assess and explain on the previous one. That means you ask them to explain, okay, I'm going to show you the type of question, then you can understand what I'm saying. And the third level is this. You ask them about the consequences, the fear of loss, the impact, all right? The desire for gain, what they want to gain. What is the impact of them solving that problem, all right? What of the impact they buy from you? So the first level question is something like this. You ask questions about the prospect, behaviors, facts, situation, and thoughts, and then the examples are like, what is the most important requirement for this project? To what extent is blank important to you? Then you insert the value. To what extent is quality important to you? To what extent is speed of delivery important to you? To what extent? Remember, I don't say, do you value this? I say, to what extent? When you say to what extent, immediately think, oh, I will put a certain degree of importance. I won't put yes or no. You see how you ask questions is very important, right? And then you ask about what is your best selling product? How much time you have for this project? All these are about their behaviors, facts, and thoughts and situation about the company or problem, all right? What is your biggest headache with blank? So are you getting this, everyone? Can you understand what is first level question? I write it be fast. It's very simple to help you memorize. B is behaviors. Fast, FA is facts. Situation and thought is ST. Be fast, very simple. First level, always be fast, all right? Are you following me, everyone? I know it's like 3 hours in already. It's 12:10 a.m. already. I think it's overtime already. Are you guys still okay now? Okay. Now, the level 2 question is this. Guide the buyer to assess their first level response to you and prompt them to give their opinions. Means whatever they tell you from your questioning at the first level, you ask them to explain more. So what are the questions I can use? This sounds important to you. May I ask why? How do you mean? How so? Can you tell me more about that? Could you expand on that a little bit more? How long has this been going on? You're just trying to get them to explain further on and assess whatever they tell you. Are you getting this? Whatever they respond to your first level question, you're just trying to expand more on that. right? Because you don't know what it means. You're trying to find out more information. And when you do it in this kind of question, it will sound very conversational, okay? Now, and then here's the thing. You guide, the third level question is where you guide the buyers to think and disclose their main buyer reasons, which is pain, pleasure, and also, what else? One more? Can anyone answer me? What else? One more? Pain and pleasure, and their desire to solve the problem. Remember that, the desire. You want to disclose also whether they have desire or not, right? Now, for example, if the problem you discuss is not resolved, how will it impact your company? This seems like an important issue to you. May I ask, how will it impact you and your team if it's not resolved? What would it mean to you when the issue is settled? What kind of impact it will have on your business if blank, if this is not completed, if this is done, if you hit your goals next year? You see, not many people ask questions like that. But when you ask the first level first, second level, and third level, it'll be very normal for people to answer. But a lot of people, they jump right into this, or sometimes they don't ask. Then people will feel like, hey, are you trying to look at my whole family history or something like that? All right, people will get uncomfortable, and that is why the 3-level question is there. So just follow this guide. Your questioning will be very, very powerful. And that is the 3-level question, the most powerful tool you can have. And that is my hack for you as well. All right. Now, in the prescribed stage, you're going to summarize in their own words. Okay. When you move to the prescribed stage, you summarize the challenges. You can use something like this. So, John, based on what we've discussed so far, your challenges are A, B, and C. So, and your goals are X, Y, and Z. So did I miss anything, or is there something you would like to add? Now, this is how you summarize, and make sure you show them that you understand. Make sure you take notes and read whatever from the notes to summarize this, because a lot of people don't do some summary. When you summarize, it shows people that you are paying attention. You get it, everyone? Now, in this prescribed stage, there's 2 outcomes you can go. If it's a good fit, then you would tell them, okay, I have a solution for you. Would you like me to tell you more? Ask for their permission. If it's a bad thing, you think you can't help them, always you can refer them out. Okay, so here's what I think. I think probably, right, this is what you can do right now. Okay, it's a better option for you in your current situation. So here's what you can do, and this is the person that can help you. You want me to get you connected to them? Very easy. When you do that, you build trust. All right. Now, after that, you wait for an okay or go ahead, and then you move forward. So when you present your solution, very simple. You got the forwards, feature, and benefit hack. You got the before and after. You can use all those to present your offer and solution. So make sure what you present, right, match their problem or pain point. Don't need to present more. If you got 10 options, don't need to present 10 options. If they only need 2 options to make decision, only present that 2. Don't need to present so much. You get what I mean? Don't need to present all the feature one. People don't need everything. People need things that they need only. All right. And then you can use words such as, based on what you've told me, and then you continue on present. Okay, to solve this, we have this. To solve this, we have this. All right. And think about how you can make it easier for people to buy from you. Remember about risk. This is where you present the risk reduction as well. All right. And then you wrap it up. Confirm with them if they can see how your solution will solve their problem. You can say something like this. So, John, can you now see how this will help you to solve your problem? Confirm, then get their confirmation. Sales is a series of micro commitment. Get all this commitment from them. Okay. And then when you go to close stage, there's a couple of close that I'm going to be teaching you. It's going to be quite easy. And these are the ones that I like to use most. All right. There's going to be more. But before that, I know that a lot of you, when you transition to close, right, you have problem with expectation with clients. So how am I going to deal with this? I'm going to be teaching you a way on how to deal with expectation almost immediately inside the sales process. And here you use this as a transition. So you can say something like this. Hey, John, it's been my experience that every single deal comes down to 2 things, expectations and payment. So let's talk about both of those things. First, I want to be really clear about what you're getting and what you're not getting, because in the past, if there's any problems at all with the clients, which is very rare, it has always been on expectation. I said one thing, they heard something else. So I believe what's really important is for me to walk you through step by step what you'll be getting in this deal. And by the way, right, I will write all of this down, send to you in a proposal, agreement, or email, and then we can start talking about price. Would this be okay with you? Or WFBH, forwards, feature, and benefit hack. 4, W is words, feature, and benefit hack. Right? I just shorten it out. So everyone, can you see how you can use this as a transition to help you manage your expectation? So after that, after they say okay already, right, which they normally do, then you can walk through them what they get. Okay, John, here's what you can expect. Bullet point number 1. Here's what you can expect. Bullet point number 2. As many as possible. right? Just tell whatever they're getting so that they don't have any mismatch in expectation. All right. Okay, so everyone, is this good? Is this transition good for you? Can you see how you can manage expectation here? Now to the close. If you haven't revealed the price in presentation yet, sometimes you need to reveal. Okay, if you haven't revealed, you can reveal it here. You can use range. You know, you can ask that for the budget, for range, for ballpark figure or previous purchase. You can tell everyone what kind of budget range would we be working with. What kind of budget range? Don't ask them, do you have a budget? Ask them what kind of budget range. Everyone has a budget. It's a range of ballpark figure. If you ask, do you have? They say no. If you have, what kind? So you're trying to understand what they will reveal to you. And then you can ask also, how much did the previous vendor charge you? And then, right, when you tell your price to them, tell them like it's no big deal. Okay, I tell to my client the 11 million, I just tell them like, okay, so 3 years contract, 252 machine times 3 years. So it'll be this amount, 3,500 plus 3,500. So in total, it'll be 11 million. It's about 4.5 million, no, 2 million something USD. So that's the price. So we're going to take like 25% payment. This is, tell it like no big deal. Don't get freaked out. The moment you get freaked out, they get freaked out. Okay. If you fear selling, they fear buying. Remember that. If you fear selling, they fear buying. Right. Now, the close, there are a couple of closes here. Assume close. If you feel that the prospect needs to be led, some people, they need somebody to lead them on. Okay. If you feel like that, right, they're more soft a bit, then you can use this close. Okay. Now, to move forward and you insert however your product or service is delivered, or next steps, I need, then whatever information you need first, then ask for info you need, all right? Or you can say moving forward, then you list the next steps. Here's what you can do next, list the next step, all right? For example, it's gonna be like this. For web design, now to move forward and get you started on a kickoff meeting with my team, I need your business details to prepare the invoice. Can I have your business card? Very simple, right? For that machine, this is how I used last time. Now, to move forward and get the 2 machines delivered and installed at your place, I need the director's IC, the SSM business license. Can you take a picture of it and send it over WhatsApp? Very simple. Next course of action, call to action. Everything is inside there, isn't it? Can you see how simple to use this? Assume close. This is how you use assume close. Right? You assume the customer want to move forward. Right? This when you feel the customer needs to be led. The second close is this. Let them complete. This you can't find anywhere else as well. If you feel the person is more assertive, they're like gung-ho a bit like me, all right? Then you can always use this. Your tone must be correct. It goes something like this. So, John, based on what you've told me so far, the next step is, then you shut up. Don't say a word. Let them complete it. They're going to tell you, because awkward is, a silence is awkward, you know, they're going to tell you, right, what they're going to do, all right? Based on what you've told me so far, the next step is, and shut up, that's it. And wait for them to respond, how do we get started or whatever. If they respond, how do we get started? Good, you just close the sale. If they have more questions, address those and use the assume close, okay? Now, and then you can also use this multiple choice. This is very, very basic. A lot of time when people sell something online, they give multiple choice. But when they sell in person, they don't give multiple choice. Remember, I told you about single option aversion. Give them option to choose from. Don't get them choose like yet buy or not buy. Let them choose option A, B, or C, okay? So you structure your offer in 3 packages. Normally you can do that, all right? Like how I structure in 2 packages, right? Package A, yes. Package B, most popular. Package C, get started. You can put in a decoy also, no problem. So you can say something like this, John, here is what you want to accomplish. And to get you to this part, right? This is the Ferrari, which can get you there the fastest and chauffeur driven, which is my package A, cost how much? Or you could do this, the package B, which is what? And then, or you could get started with this package C. And based on what you told me, I would suggest, okay, then insert whatever you suggest, so A, B, or C, which one is more suitable for them. And then you ask them, what do you think? Isn't it easy? Right? So when it's structured like that, right, you're actually presenting them option on how to choose and you think through the best decision for them, right? You're helping them to make decision. You're presenting information for them to make decision, all right? Now, the if-then clause. This is also future pacing, okay? Future pacing where you project a vision of the future. You use something like this. You get whatever you get from the diagnose stage ready, then you say something like this. If an agency could make sure the Facebook ads increase your inquiries by 50%, which could possibly increase your revenue by 40,000 within the next 3 months, then you will be very happy about this campaign. Is that right? You're trying to get them to imagine this and confirm this information. And then if we submit a proposal to you at your budget of 12,500 by next week, then you're ready to get started. Is that right? Then if they say yes, right, then you straight away go to this. Ask them directly, close. Very easy. Okay. Or I believe that all that we discussed makes sense. What do you think? So are you ready to get started working together? What would you like to do next? Are we ready to make this little happen? So it's very easy. You can even ask directly. All right. These are my favorite closes. Okay. So guys, can you see how you can use this closes? This is not the biggest deal. The close is the simplest part. The most important part is what, diagnose. You find the problem, understand the problem, and make the problem heard. Remember that. This is the strategy. Find the problem, understand the problem, okay, and make the problem heard using the 3-level questions. All right. Now, the favorite part. Manage objections. So what is objection? It is a reason that the customer brought up either earlier as a concern or real reason not to move forward with a sale. Okay. It is an opportunity for me to give, okay. Well, I was reading, okay, it's a reason, all right. So how I define this is like this. It's an opportunity for me to give you new information so you can make a new decision. This is how I define objection. A lot of people will think, okay, something that stops a sale. But I define it as an opportunity for me to give you new information so you can make a new decision. This is a new way of reframing yourself or how to look at objection, all right? So what are the possible objections? You do not have enough experience. I'm too busy right now. The last time we used your company, the service was bad. I am happy with my current supplier. Your price is too expensive. All these kind of reasons are. You can list all them now. And then, what is the best time to overcome objection? It's actually before they happen. So this is where you use pre-framing, where you tell upfront about some common objections before it was brought up, or use some other customer stories to make it relevant. So when to use it? When you're setting the agenda, when you're prescribing the solution, you can handle objection right there. For example, price is too expensive. I've got another client who is happily working with us initially and thought this part of the service was way too expensive. I mean, who wouldn't, right? It's like 20,000. However, he chose to believe us, and then when he later found out he took back 60,000, right? With this service, he told me that it was be much more expensive not to have this service. And it was mean he lost the opportunity to make 40,000 extra. You use this story right in front so that they know, oh, okay, it's expensive, but this is not a problem anymore because other people also found that, okay, it's useful. You get what I mean? Now, also, when you ask people questions, we Asian, right, we feel like, people are interrogating us. So we feel uncomfortable. So what we normally do is very simple. So here is how the meeting will go. I'm going to start by asking you some questions about your business and your situation. So some of my other customer feels is not too comfortable with this. But this is the only way we know how to work and find out if we can really, really help you. Would you be okay with this? Now, this is how you immediately disarm the objection that they will feel interrogated. So after this, whatever question you ask, right, you'll be okay with them. You ask them 10 questions also, no problem, right? Now, don't miss this. This is the MQA part, okay? MQA method, a framework to manage objection. So your train of thoughts when you're using this is ask yourself, what else could this mean? Here is the MQA method, which is 1, the mirror, where you use their language or paraphrase in your own words. Use labels such as it seems, it sounds, it looks, it feels. I won't explain it right now. Okay, I just let you know what it is. So you just use that. You seem, you sound, you look. These are labels. You label their emotion. All right. And the question is how, what, why, where? Can you help me understand? Tell me more. These are question part. And then address the objection. Can I bounce a few ideas off you? Can I share some ideas with you? All right. These are the exact words that I normally use. Okay. If you talk to me before, you know that. So how it works in action is like this, are the MQA. Sometimes you can only use M. Sometimes you use MQ. Sometimes you use MQA also can. All right. And this method is very fluid, That means it's like fluid. You can put it into a glass, it works. You put it into a can, it works as well. I designed it to be that way. All right. Now, how do you want to address the objection? It's very simple. Remember reframing? You can always reframe the objection. Negative to positive, small difference or big difference, specific experience to relevant experience. Small team is more responsive, fast and personalized. Being second makes me work harder and serve you better. When people say, oh, you're the second. Yeah, being second makes me work harder. I need to chase the first. That's why I will serve you better. You reframe the objection like that. All right? Now, an example here. You can take a screenshot of this. Your price is just too expensive. You look at the mirror part, it sounds like you have a bad experience paying for something expensive. I'm paraphrasing them. So the Q part is that question. Can you tell me more about that? I'm asking them to explain more. Then the prospect goes like, yeah, a company I work with, right, charges about the same price and they didn't deliver. It was not what I expected. And this is where I address the objection. I appreciate you telling me that. So it's not really a matter of price. It's more about you getting what you paid for and we as suppliers be responsible and deliver the work within your expectation. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So let me ask you a question again. If you've gotten what you thought you paid for, would you feel differently about the situation? And the prospect goes, yeah, I would have felt that it was money well spent. And you continue. Yeah, and that is exactly the reason why we should discuss your expectation for this project so that we can find out if we can really, really help you get what you want. You see how I transition from an objection to a close, all using the MQA method? Can you see how this can help you to manage objection? Any kind of objection you don't know also can manage. Remember about the labels. Are you still here, guys? All right, great. Now, good. Yep, Vince seems need to go, no problem. So, okay, manage objection part, all right? So, ways to manage objection. Another way is that it's the opposite true. You find out if the opposite, what they're saying is true. For example, bigger company is always more reliable. So what you need to find out if smaller company is always unreliable. So it sounds something like this, right? If you use the opposite, it's true. You do not have enough experience. So the M is, it seems like you only work with people with certain experience, years of experience. Just curious, how many years of experience do we consider having enough experience? And I appreciate you telling me that after the prospect answer. Can I bounce a few ideas off you? And you continue to address the objection. Is the opposite true? So I will say something like this. So you always work with people with 5 years experience and more and never work with anyone below that line before? And the prospect go, no. Also just curious, have you ever been to a McDonald's where the food tastes different? No, every single McDonald's, the food tastes same. So do you know that the cook that they hired are all inexperienced, no experience, but it still tastes good, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So would you agree that it is the end result that matters instead of the years of experience? Now you see how you reframe the objection using the opposite is true? Everyone is getting this? Boom. Yep, Hanafi, boom. That's it. That's how you handle objection. All right, the MQA method is very, very versatile. And other ways, asking a question back. Use the question mirror repeat the 2 to 3 last word, and most important 2 to 3 words with your upward inflection. All right? It's like, I'm too busy right now. So it sounds like you're having a lot to handle right now. What time would it be best for me to call you back? Very easy. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Then you say something like this, exact same tone. Can't afford it? Now you say this only, it's upward inflection like a question, they'll expand more because can't afford it, you don't understand what it means, right? So you're trying to ask them to explain more on the objection so that you can help them to give them more information to make a new decision. Are you getting this, everybody? Is this good, everybody, the MQA? All right, damn good, right? Good. All right, so we're gonna end this very, very soon. So like other objection, we need to think about it. We'll get back to you next week. So you can do something like MA only. It sounds like you need to talk to your team and go through the details carefully. So most of the people that I'm talking to right now have tightened their budget and when deciding on a purchase. So I imagine this might be true for you as well. Can I share with you some ideas that will help you present this internally? And then you share whatever ideas you have that can help them. You see how you can actually use the MA only without even the Q part where you don't need to even ask a question, right? So your homework is this: use the MQA method and craft out response for the list of all possible objections and reasons that you have prepared earlier in section 5, okay? And then the follow through is very simple. This is where the part you don't only follow up, you follow through to make sure the customer's experience is very nice. You send a post-meeting summary email after every meeting, okay? Send them a summary. And then you follow up with prospect who didn't manage to close. Send insights and valuable information that will help them to make new decision. If the prospect doesn't buy, find out why. Make sure the customer succeed and they have every means to them to succeed they're able to provide. And 30 days after onboarding, send a "Is everything okay?" email. And then you ask for referral from a clients who are already experiencing results from your product or service. And then use a CRM, an Active Campaign, Zoho, or Excel to easily track your customers, all right? So that's follow through. So that's all I have for you today. So your learning summary is this: you learn about what is selling today. You need to change your way to look at selling. And then you understand what your customer is buying already. You understand what your prospects is thinking. You read their mind. And then you understand and identify your product's real value. And then you also understand your competitors. You understand how to create your irresistible value proposition. And also, you learn about the 6-step trust building selling process and also the MQA method to handle all objection. All right. That is it, everybody. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Your ultimate unfair advantage will always be learning. Knowledge is the only sustainable competitive advantage. Anyone got any Q&A before we end this? So how is everyone feeling right now? So is everything good? Has this been like a super mind-blowing moment? Like, wow, I cannot receive any more information inside that you exactly know what you need to do in sales? Okay, this is me compressing, right? 30,000+ hours into this 3.5 hours, you know. So I think it doesn't fry your brain, it's not me, you know. All right. So can you guys see how you can sell better already after this? Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll get you the slides. I'll make a copy of the slides for you guys. Okay, something I want to share just now. All right. How to make your prospect sell themselves to you. Very easy. Remember these few keywords. Okay, let me remember first. My brain almost died already right now. All right. If you were to imagine blank, all right, write this down. How to make your prospect sell themselves to you. When you ask them question, if you were to imagine blank, all right, the blank should be whatever they want. If you, let for example, if you were to imagine a perfect camera, how would you describe it? If you were to imagine blank, how would you describe it? You get them to describe every single thing they want on a product. You just ask them this question. It's how you make them sell themselves to you. Did everyone get this? I'll type it down here. Yeah, I give you an example. If you were to imagine a perfect website, how would you describe it? So ask them to describe. If you're selling food product, if you were to imagine a perfect cat food, how would you describe it? If you were to imagine a cat food that you want to give your cat to eat, how would you describe it? Very easy. Can you see how you use that? Okay, so everyone, I think this has been a very, very good experience for you guys. And it's been 3.5 hours, one of my longest session here. And I think one of the longest session for you guys as well. I hope you use all this information for good, help everybody. All right. Thank you, Vince, for this as well. So I'll let you guys go. Have a great night. You know, take all the information tomorrow, study again. Take 1 to 3 things that you're going to implement. I recommend you using the forwards feature and benefit hack first. Immediately use which means and so that to improve your selling skills. All right. These skills for writing or face-to-face, this is all face-to-face, can online, can writing, also can, it doesn't matter. As long as you're dealing with another human being. All right. What else is the question? Is there any difference between additional things involved in high selling item like that? No. The additional difference is that when I was selling the high ticket item like the artwork, I didn't do as much of qualifying and stuff. All right. I didn't do much of the open. I was waiting. I was diagnosing in my head what the customer is trying to do. I was selling him the emotion that, okay, he needs to feel like he is in control. I give you a price. I want this artwork, because artwork, you're going to tell him to like it. He like it. He doesn't like it. So you must be able to recognize that. So whatever I'm telling you applies to every single thing, even artwork. So when you use the diagnose, if you can diagnose them without even talking to them, that's very good, right? That's different level you need to practice more, okay? That is when I get the mastery already. I can diagnose, okay, I see him. Oh, he is showing interest. He's looking at the artwork for 5 minutes. That is me diagnosing him. All right. So this works for 4, 5, 6, 7 figures things, 8 figures. It doesn't. It's if you use it for like 20, 30 bucks items or 100 bucks items, it's going to be an overkill. All right. It helps, but it's going to be an overkill. All right. So now everybody. So now you know how to sell or not. So is selling going to be easier for you right now? Yeah, if you go for an interview for a company, take notes. Show them you're okay. You're taking notes down. No problem. Why not? You're trying to make sense of the information. If they're going to ask you, why are you taking notes? Oh, I'm trying to make sense of the information so that I can give you information that's relevant to you. And I don't want to get every single thing down because everything is important to you. Yeah. Right? Okay, good. Now, everyone. So thank you very much. I think Vince went to sleep already. So we'll end this session right now. How about we as the buyer to close the seller by your technique? Same thing. What does the seller want? You go through the process again. What does the seller want? What is he trying to get from you? What does he want from you? Understand him first. So when you understand what he wants already, then you can sell the ideas to him why he should buy from you, why he should sell to you. Understand the reason why he should sell to you as well, right? Okay. Chris Yao asked, what if client refuse to tell you problems? Okay, a lot of times when client don't know the problems, they can't even understand their own problem. So you must provide examples and ask them, okay, some of my clients is having A, B, and C. Are you having any of this? Or if not, they're also having C, D, and E. So which one is something that's happening more often? Help them to understand the information. If they don't tell you, then no choice. There are some customers like that one. So help them to understand the information. Help them to see that you're there to help them first. All right. Okay, great. So if there's no more question, I'll let you guys go right now. Okay, not sleep. All right, great. Now I think everyone is mind blown already. 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, good. I'm gonna get some drinks and gonna get my rest as well. So please use this information and do everything you can to sell to everyone that deserve your help. Okay, never sell anything that hurts other people. Okay, and remember the two rules that I give to you. Okay. All right, great. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to be ending this call.